And g'day, folks. Welcome to episode 47 of the DayZ podcast. We are here with our new co-host, Marks. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How are you all doing today?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. And we have our special guest tonight. Is not Zombie League because I slept in this morning, folks. That is why I am looking like a bag of shit and tired. But it is actually Skigoggles, one of the moderators from the DayZ Reddit group. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
Thank you so much for coming in, mate. And my apologies for sleeping in. It's 6 a.m. here in Australia, so I had my alarm set, but I did the usual thing: snooze, snooze, snooze. And at some point, I snoozed and forgot to press the snooze button again. So
happens to the best of us.
Absolutely,
it does.
Absolutely.
So, Mark, is this the first time you've done a cam?
Yeah,
a face reveal.
Pretty much, first
there
time.
We go.
So I used to stream like years ago when I had like 0 viewers with a face cam every once in a while, but yeah, it's my first time actually doing it with a face cam. So yeah.
Well, you're a devilishly handsome young man, mate.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, you're pale in comparison next to this beautiful old gap-toothed.
Hey. Oh, you're talking about yourself. Got it.
Yeah. Very true, me. Okie dokie, mate. So we are here to we've got a number of topics here. Skigoggles, you because I am such an idiot. I forgot to unmute my audio. So we're gonna go through all of that again.
All right.
Oh, nice.
G'day, everyone. Welcome to episode 47 of the DayZ podcast. Spud, thank you so much for writing in chat that I'd forgotten to unmute my audio. We are joined by my new co-host, Marks. How you doing, buddy?
Are we doing pretty good?
We are doing damn well, mate, other than me sleeping in. But, yeah. But we have our special guest today is the one and only Skigoggles, one of the moderators of the DayZ Reddit group. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Call me Ski, please.
Ski?
Awesome. Sure.
Okay, so we have got a lot on today, mate. You are welcome to hang around for as much of it as you want. That's the way we work with all of our guests. But first up, we're going to be talking about DayZ Reddit. Now, there is a popular conception out there that it is the most toxic thing associated with the whole of the DayZ community. You chuckled a bit then, Ski.
I did. So I would say, so I've been moderating for about a year now on that one, and a little longer on maybe another year or so on the DayZ mod Reddit, and there were a few tough customers there, but we've taken a little, we sort of moved the bar a little bit on what we were letting pass through the filter, as it were. And I truly think, just to sum it up, that in the last year we've made a lot of good progress at sort of weeding out the people that have just decided that, DayZ is the worst thing since sliced bread. That doesn't make sense. The worst thing in the world, and on every single thread, on every single post, they're going to let you know about every single thing that they've experienced in the last 5, 6, 7 years, and that's just not productive. I'm not a fanboy. Well, okay, I'm a little bit of a fanboy. Okay, I lied. But, I'm a realist. And, there's a bunch of people who like the game, who have issues, who have problems, who want to know things, who want to explore things, who want to see videos, who want to ask questions. And you know what? We just don't need that on every single post. That's my take on it.
I would say that same thing applies to the Facebook group, Marks. I don't know if you're part of the DayZ Standalone Facebook group.
I'm not, actually, no.
But it's a bit the same with that, mate. So yeah, well, one of the things I wanted to say, Marks, I think they've been a bit unfairly labelled. There's a lot of toxic. We've got a pretty damn good community. but there's a lot of people toxic on nearly everything to do with it.
Yeah. On Reddit, you can see some stuff. A lot of it gets removed, which is good. But there can be a lot of toxic stuff on posts, especially in the comments of certain posts. Like I've had it on a couple of mine that I post, and it's just people giving out about this, or either hating the devs, or they hate Bohemia, or they hate the creator who's making content, or there's always something to hate about with DayZ, it seems, with people.
Yeah, and I take offense to the dev hating part of it. And I don't know, Marks, if you've ever seen it. I stick up for them every single time.
Yeah, I try my best as well. Yeah.
And part of my reason is that I've been a developer. And
really?
Absolutely. So I started out my career as a developer. Now I'm a cloud architect, which means I do less development and more sort of painting the pretty picture for companies about how they can improve their computing through the cloud. Anyway, enough about me. But there's and let's be honest, let's blame the EA process, right? I really truly do. There's the one thing I will push hard back on. To expose people for years on end of daily builds and processes and issues and terminologies and things. And so now what you've turned people into in DayZ and other places too is everybody's an armchair developer. Everybody. And they think that just because something's broken, it's a quick fix, right? And it's really not. I've never worked on games, so I've not been in that industry, but I've worked on big projects, and it's a highly complex environment with multiple people involved over many years and years. And people say things like, "Oh, well, the devs, all their money's going in their pocket," or they got my $40. And I said, "Have you ever had a job? Do you know how life works?" Right there, and I also think the team they have now is doing the best they can, but there's some history there, and they can't overcome it all in a day, But I think
you kind of touched on what Spud, the guy who runs DayZ Down Under, Australia's best first-person server, but he's got a good comment there. Is this stuff unique to DayZ? I don't belong to any other games community, so wouldn't know. And I don't think it is. DayZ's got its own unique issues, because of things like the roadmap. The 2015 roadmap, which could be, mate, I get so fucking sick of seeing people bring that up.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, Marks, it's. I don't think it's unique to DayZ either. I kind of dabble in a couple of other communities, PUBG, and I've just started dabbling in Scum, because we're talking about that a bit later. But Dead Matter. Dead Matter's another one. Look at the failed launch they had of their early access thing. People. Humans are humans. Sometimes we're not very nice, and just some people, like you said, Ski. So some people just need to learn to get over
it. That's exactly what I tell them. I say to people, it's been 2 years since 1.0. I said anything that was promised in quotes before that doesn't exist. It's EA. It doesn't matter. And you talk about other games, the one that just popped up recently, which I don't know, maybe people hate me from comparing it to, is when Cyberpunk launched. Yeah. And guess what? It didn't work on consoles. Well, there's a familiar, and it had some bugs and it was late. But you know what? They showed a video like 5 years ago and then they dropped it on everybody. So again, imagine if they had gone from week to week to week to week to week, showing you the development process on a regular basis. Of course you would be, what's the right word? Married to that process. Oh my gosh, I own it. You want to hold on to it and you want to live it and breathe with it. I bought DayZ 1.0 the minute it came out, played it a little bit, and I didn't come back to 1.0. I listened to my friends. Kind of go through the process. And it was really interesting being a developer and a technical guy, hearing all of these people that I knew that weren't suddenly sort of start to speak the language a little bit. It was quite the strange experience over, was it 4 years, 5 years, whatever the heck it was.
It's been very interesting, hasn't it? Just the DayZ over the years and the way people carry on in certain,
you'll see it every time I do an update video for DayZ. Every single time people are saying they should be doing this, why aren't the devs doing this. Every single time. Doesn't matter if they add a new weapon, they fix a ton of bugs. Every single time they always find something to complain about, and they'll always say the devs are not doing this. And
look, I have my
wears you out
issues
after a
with
while.
Bohemia. With some of the decisions I believe they've made, and that's just me purely guessing, because I'm not part of the company, and I do wonder about some of the decisions that they appear to have made. But do people honestly think that the devs are just sitting there with twiddling their thumbs and all the rest of it? They're doing, especially of late. DayZ's fucking amazing right now. Sumrak and the rest of the team have done an amazing fucking job.
Yeah. You could see. Do you know when I'd known Sumrak from A2 and Night Stalkers and all of this stuff from way back, and I knew he had become a lead developer, and then all of a sudden we started seeing the changes. We started hearing the mouse pick up again, and then we started hearing the changes to the temperature system and all that, and all of a sudden, bam! It clicked. You could see those two. You could see those two things starting to merge together, and you could see how they're working toward, a decent set of goals with forethought and things like that. And then the changes to the loot economy, which I defend every single time it comes up too. By the way, you really see it. And look at the year in review, and look at a year ago what they talked about they would get to and what they would work on, and I would say they delivered all of it. Now this year, we all know they made a pretty big claim in that end of year about what they're going to work on this year,
and I'm excited for it. And at the end of the day as well, how many times have you promised something to someone and not delivered in your personal life or in a work capacity as well? It happens, people. It just like Baron Snowhand said in chat, you can't please all of the people all of the time, and that's one of the things they're dealing with as well. DayZ, because of its roots, its origins with the DayZ, with the Arma 2 mod and that, it's got a lot of people who feel deeply invested in it, Marks. That they've got some personal connection to it. I myself even kind of feel that. Not that I played Arma 2 mod, a handful of hours in it, and couldn't work out what the fuck I was meant to be doing, but a lot of people feel very invested and almost a bit betrayed at times, that certain things haven't gone the way that they want. But it's a big community. It's hard to please everyone all the time.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Arma 2 people were expecting it to kind of be like Arma 2 when they bought it straight away. Like having base building and helicopters and all that stuff working. And then when they get it and they realize, oh wait, it's actually not. They can kind of be a bit annoyed and stuff like that. But I always tell people, if you're annoyed at the game right now, give it a break. Come back to it in 6 months' time and see what's changed.
Like you did, Ski. Like you did, Ski.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't think it was going where it needed to go. And then, the other thing that occurs to me too over the last year or so is that we are really getting to a point where there are a lot of players. I mean, look at the stats on Steam charts, right? It's had the most players ever in the last, couple month or two. But we're getting to the point where there are new players that the only thing they don't know about EA. They don't know about pre 1.0, except for, unfortunately, they dig up an old YouTube video. So,
why DayZ is dead. DayZ is dead. DayZ will never be as good as it was. And God, those titles make me laugh.
I met one of those videos years ago, I have to admit.
And who just sent me that video the other day? The Survivor games. Where did I get that from?
Yes. Was that from me?
That was, you and I were chatting. You said, and let's be honest, you can see how wonky the game is at that point. But it didn't matter. Was that some good entertainment back then too? Oh, that
exactly,
was nice.
And that's why I want to see it come back, because if no one has ever watched it, I will encourage them to go and check. Now you can. There's this official Survivor Games channel on YouTube, but there's also some videos on a number of systems. Basically, all you got to do is just type in Survivor Games, and Games has a Z at the end on YouTube, and you will get links. Probably one of my favorites is Mr. Moon's Training Day. with him and Chow. Oh my god! As you said, mate, it was wonky as fuck. But I'm sorry. I know there are people out there, Mark, who I put comments as well, and whether it be on Facebook or on Reddit, and people say it's my mission to make sure everyone knows how fucked this game is. It's like, if that's your mission in life, mate, that's pretty fucking tragic.
Yeah, but exactly.
Please go and check out those Survivor Games videos, because there's a certain charm for me. Like we talked about a couple of weeks ago with, we watched a video of a guy in an axe battle with someone. And as wonky as Melee was back in the day, I kind of miss it. It was charming. It was a certain charm to meleeing and just running in a circle around each other with an axe, and that little thunk sound when you got a hit. And
but a lot of people always say that game was, or that version of the game was always so good. But I bet if 90% of the people went back and played it for 15 minutes, they were like, okay, that's enough. It's probably a lot of it's nostalgia. Like, I have very fond memories of the game back, in those alpha days as well. But it's broken. It's probably better off that it's not like that anymore.
Oh, definitely.
It's the same. It's the same when people talk about Arma 2. Every once in a while, I don't play on my Arma 2 server anymore, except somebody says, I have an issue. Can you do this? Do that? I jump in and I got to remember the controls, and I'm looking at the graphics, and even DayZ's a little dated, but and the way it works, and it had its moments, but you're right. It's all looking back. Why does Arma 2 seem really great? And even that, it's nostalgia. It's the first time we saw anything like that. Like, oh my God, look at this. There's zombies and gun apocalypse, and I'm running around, and this is the greatest thing I ever saw. But yeah, if you just jump, there's a post right now on Reddit from like an hour ago, Arma 2 or DayZ, right? I mean, there's no question right now which one you should go to.
Like, I made a video, it's less than 6 months ago, playing Arma 2. I just went back to revisit. I think it was Epoch or something like that. I can't remember. And like, it was so hard to remember the controls, and it was all so clunky. And yes, it might, people might prefer, but it's all that nostalgia stuff. Like, DayZ is way better graphically, it just performs better. Controls are a lot easier. It's just so much better, personally, anyway. But a lot of people then were on that video were like, no, DayZ's trash. Arma 2 is the best.
I mean, DayZ's a full game too. DayZ's a full environment. There's all sorts of other things to do. And listen, the Arma 2.1 was first, but really it was Arma 2 with zombies and a limited set of weapons and things and some base building, right? I mean, that was kind of all it really. Listen, it was fun. It was great. I played a lot of it, but I think we're in the next level. We have, and especially now that in the last 6-9 months or whatever, the core of it is survival. I'm very excited for that. That was very great. Good ad.
And that's that. But as I think that's why a lot of people are getting upset, because a lot of them view DayZ as just nothing more than a big open world PvP battle, whereas that was not Dean's initial vision. It was how do they define it again? DayZ is a survival horror, open world bloody survival horror game. They don't call DayZ a big death match or anything like that. Now, it's strange I say that, because I'm just talking about how awesome Survivor Games is. But part of the beauty of Survivor Games is there's still an element of survival in it. Those games, how long does that bloody video go for? Nearly, admittedly, some of that was downtime when the server was restarting and that. But, 3-4 hour game. You can't have a 3 to 4 hour game in DayZ without having to loot for food and drink water and stuff like that. So it's still a survival experience as opposed to just a big death match. And that's I don't begrudge people who want to play DayZ that way. That's the beauty of not just DayZ but any Bohemia title. They generally make it very moddable.
There's plenty of servers out there that give you that experience.
Yeah, some of the people have got to get over that, Ski.
Yeah, I agree, and you keep bringing me back to that video, and I didn't watch the whole thing. It was like 4 hours. Like I bounced around. It was funny. I talked to a friend of mine that I've been playing with since the DayZ mod days, and he goes, "Oh, I remember Mr. Moon and Mr. This and this guy and all the," and he knew all the names off the top of his head. He goes, "I remember watching them," and there's, like you say, there's the core DayZ and everything, but then we took it and we had fun with it. And we play with friends, right? It was that award they won last year, and you get on it, and it's an experience.
Yeah.
It's not just I'm running around shooting and killing and everything. We played some friends, and when did we play? Last night, the night before, and we all got killed stupidly, right? We should have never gotten killed, but we got on, we laughed, we played, we ran around, we did, and we chatted. It was like this, right? Except we were running around. It's all of that, right? It's not just the pew 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 pew, right? There's something more to it for me. It's a bit of a bit more of an experience wrapped into there, more of a social thing too.
Yeah, exactly. Like every life.
Actually,
go on, buddy. Sorry.
No, you go, mate. Every life.
Every life is a new adventure on that game.
Yes.
You respawn, you die, you respawn. It's a whole new adventure. You can go a different way or whatever. You'll always be something new. It won't be the same thing over and over again.
Because I've got a bot for the podcast channel, which grabs every post to the Reddit DayZ thread. And when I said we were going to be talking about the Reddit DayZ and is it's toxic as people say and all the rest of it, I have to admit that the actual main posts themselves are very rarely now, because this one grabs everything before they even get deleted by you guys.
I noticed that, by the way, when I looked at your Twitter feed the other day. I thought, wait a minute, that one hasn't been approved yet. So yeah, your bot picks them up before our auto mod filter and spam filter seem to get them. Interesting.
But I think the main issue isn't so much in the posts; it's in the replies to posts, where some of the people can prove that they're not for the right reasons. But then again, you still get some of the purists or the elitists, as Uncle Ray called them when he was on, which was a fucking hilarious podcast, by the way. You should definitely watch that if you haven't already. But some people have got to get their heads out of their asses. I can be a bit elitist myself. I know that, and that's something I'm trying to work on as well. I love my hardcore survival, but some people have got to remember, like we discussed before, that there are a lot of different ways to play DayZ.
Yeah, I agree, and let's extend that a little bit. We get the PC console elitists too in there every once in a while.
Yes.
Listen, I've been a PC gamer the whole time, so that's where I'm going to lean. And I think it's a better experience, and it's a more cost-effective experience. But and I haven't been able to do a damn controller since like Need for Speed on my PS2. That's another story. But yeah, we can only do so much reading through the posts and things. We rely on users to report things. But to be honest now, and this is a good question for you two or anybody else, is you have to start to look at where you draw the line, right? Because my sort of my duty, power, I hate to say power, that sounds terrible. I'm trying to moderate, right? We all know that's the term, moderate. And where do we draw that line? Because people love to, you're censoring me, blah, blah, blah. Oh, come on. But my initial take on it is, if you're coming to the DayZ Reddit to make negative comments, if every single one of your comments is negative about DayZ and off topic, then you're not adding any value whatsoever. If somebody says, hey, cars are terrible and they go flying and even if they just make a quick comment or a long comment, at least they thought about it, there's something to discuss. But when they continually come on threads and just crap on it all the time, then we don't need you. And to be honest, those are the posters that we've in the subs that we've been filtering out and that we've just kicked out over the last year. We've really starting to do that. And I think, surprisingly, I could go back and count how many that is. It's not as many as you think. It really is.
It's the exact same way with YouTube comments. Like, you'll see the same person will just constantly hate for no reason. They're just hating the games and trash the game and whatever it'll be, and you just constantly get them. And at a point, like, I do leave some negative comments there, but like some of them are so bad where they're like, you're saying just terrible stuff either towards the devs of the game or so, and you have to remove them. Some of them are just too bad to keep there as well. It's the same as Reddit. Is like, how do you moderate the stuff and how do you keep it civil, I suppose is the way to put it.
Yeah. There's very, very obvious things. I am. If you look in your Twitter feed from about yesterday or so, you'll see somebody posted a meme, and I looked at it like, you're joking, right? Like, it was double. It was double bad. That's all I'll say about it, right? So those ones are easy. Those posts are gone, and that person's gone. But then it's and then after that, like I said, the people who just post nothing but negative comments, it's really not hard to see them. But I can't read every single comment on every single post. I rely, and the rest of us, we rely on people reporting things. And we rely on people letting us know when it goes completely off the rails. So that if anybody wants to help out in that regard, hit the little report button and let us know when people are just going a little nutso, right? We want to keep it to DayZ. We want to keep it to people who want to play, people who need help, people who enjoy the game, people who even complain. But you can't be a broken record.
No,
that just isn't getting us anywhere.
And it's not that we're are trying to cover up the issues that DayZ had in the past. DayZ had some bad issues.
Yep.
Some decisions left us all scratching our fucking heads, going, "What the fuck were they thinking when they did that?" Even the roadmap was,
Big mistake.
it was a great objective, and we were all very excited, but they had to change it, and it's disappointing that they had to change it. But that's life. Things change. Goals change. Just deal with it. Get over it. It wasn't that fucking big of a deal.
What year was that?
2015.
So think about what we've all been talking about, and we've been talking about that whole EA process and how people got so ingrained in it. It's 2021, and again, you just like that. You're like the roadmap. When's the road? 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how much of an impact it had to everybody who was in that process, right? It's still top of mind. It really is, and so we get it, right? We all get it. But again, like we've been talking, it's time to move on. We've got something good going now. I would say. I would argue we're in a really good space. Although, hey, where the heck is this year's direction? We're waiting on that note.
I'm excited for where it's going. At the end of the day, it's in very good hands right now, in my opinion. I know some people aren't too happy with the changes, to temperature and stuff like that. But if Namolsk, his vision for Namolsk, and that is an example of what Sumrak's got in his mind, I can't wait to see what else he's got in store for us throughout the rest of this year and beyond.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I know any day now we're supposed to get an update on Namals too. He's been teasing little tidbits on the Discord, so I'm excited about that. And yeah, like I said, last year when Sumrak, all of a sudden it all came together for me. Sumrak and his blogs, and also the temperature stuff. Wait a minute, Namals got winter, and that he's somebody. I mean, listen, I look at myself and say, well, I've been invested in DayZ for years. You've been invested. This guy's been invested since what, 2011?
Yeah.
And he's the fan that made it all. We could look at analogies, right? There's that singer that became in the band, and you know what I mean. He went all the way from I made a mod 10 years ago to now he leads the development team. I mean, that shows a lot of I can't, I don't know, dedication isn't the right word, right? But he cares. He truly must.
Also, I was been a bit critical of Bohemia before, but it shows that Bohemia is willing to take on talent. Maybe not as much as we would all like. We would love to see more people in there. We had Inclement Dab last week talking about it. I'd love to see him and them offer some of the other people in this amazing community jobs with them. But the fact that they've now got this guy who was a modder, and he is in charge of the whole DayZ project, that's a thing to be celebrated. That's a thing to make people feel good.
Oh, 100%. I mean, who else would you put in charge? We're not going backwards, right? So don't talk about anybody backwards, right?
Yeah.
Who else would? I mean, I know there's some people in the community. There's some very good modders right now, right? Of course. But I sort of say it rhetorically. Who else? I mean, what the heck? Sumrak's been around for 10, 11 years. I mean, Jesus, you can't get any better than that. But yeah, I mean, and it did say that they're looking to expand the team this year. So I guess we can't ask for much more considering it's DayZ.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get more people on it, and I hope if they do add more people, updates might. I don't know if they come out any sooner, but we might get more stuff in them depending who they add and stuff. So hopefully it'll be a good situation.
I still want them to fix what we've got. Get it to the standard where it's nice and polished, and fix the models and all the rest of it, and just the little things that when you play, you sit there and go, it's pretty bad that this is still an issue. And yes, like someone said in chat, where the fuck are bows?
I have to admit, when you dive into what's still, I defend the developers all the time, but you dive into what assets are still in there that haven't been brought forward yet. And even I do defend them, and I know there's priorities and there's bosses and there's all that. There's definitely a bunch of assets in there that have been brought forward through various very uncomplicated mods, with very little code and very little settings and things like that. And but again, I say that, and I hesitate to say too much about it because I'm the one defending them, saying, listen, we don't work there in their environment, in their code base, with their resources, with all their priorities, and we don't know how fragile or people would say how much of a spaghetti code it could be or anything. But I have to admit, every once in a while, when I'm in, some admin tool and I'm looking for some assets, and I go, oh yeah, that's still there. Come on, where is it? Throw us. But where did AS Val come from out of nowhere? Because that wasn't in the assets at all, right? People are like, well, bring back the 249, right? So
everybody wants.
I do it a little bit too.
Everybody wants that 249 for some reason. I don't understand it. Everybody's screaming for that 249.
It's a terrible machine gun IRL, by the way. I hate the fucking thing.
Okay, what's worse is that AUG. That's a piece of junk too. The scope is no good. Somebody the other day, where's the AUG? I'm like, go get I forget the mod that has it in it, right? It's terrible. It's awful.
It would be cool if they added two versions of the AUG, like the A1 with the scope and then like an A3 version or something. So had a rail on top, so you could put NATO sites, whatever, on it as well. Give people a bit of variety or something like that. Would be cool.
I wasn't a fan of the AUG either, or the style we called it. It was it's an efficient weapon, but it just didn't have the personality that the good old SLR or the FAL had. So, yeah, it's still got a soft spot in my heart because I carried that thing for nearly fucking 10 years in the military. But it's a very ordinary. I don't like the scope on it, and that's one of my major issues with it, even in game. Just that little donut, the ring of death they called it, but just I never liked it. You couldn't do very good precision shooting with it.
Agreed. I can only say for in-game, unfortunately. I don't have any. I don't have the experience, that you have. But yeah, like I said, the AS Val came out of nowhere. So, and I think what was the last thing? Last year, was it vaulting? That sort of kind of came out of nowhere. We didn't all of a sudden. It was like, oh, and by the way, or maybe even grenades. I think weren't expected either. So we if we really truly think back the last 2 years. There's been sort of those steady, slow and steady kind of bug fixes and things, and then we get surprised every release or two with something that nobody was talking about. It's great.
I wish grenades and such had better sound effects, like explosions in general. I think. Am I the only one here that just thinks like they're just like even the gas stations are just really weak? They do nothing. Well, they explode, but it's not crazy or anything like that. Be cool if they updated that stuff
again.
As well.
That probably falls into the polish area. Things that they could make better than they currently are.
Yeah. No, I know. I understand. I look past a lot of the little polish things. I'm still, like we're still using one animation for like 20 different things, and it just makes me think of A2 when there were only 2 animations or 3 or whatever that was, and I really want the big ones, the big one fix. Are we allowed to mention the one big fix that everybody wants, or we don't talk about it?
No. We can talk about it.
The vehicles and the physics and things. But the funny one is that everybody keeps talking about they want helicopters. In the same breath, those are the people that talk about bases and how they're upset that they get raided. I said, well, I could tell you how many times I landed an A2 helicopter on the top of someone's base and jumped out and took everything. So I don't see you people are forgetting that part of it. That's going to make bases even worse to try and prevent people from getting into.
Especially
So
when they
that'll
have
be
especially when they have no roofs. You can literally just land straight in them, and if
right.
Yeah, if
there's
you're talking
nothing
about
there.
vanilla-based building, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'd be cool if they done something.
So what's the balance? I always ask people, what's the balance? And nobody really has a good answer. There have been some good posts I've seen over the years. I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was Asmondian, or maybe it was even Arkansas. Am I saying it right? There's a really nice long post that one of them posted some years ago about how to balance and things like that. So who knows? Maybe I want to say there was a hint. Was it in one of Somrak's streams or one of the posts or something about something new for base building coming? And I don't think it was just flags. I think it was after flags, but I don't remember.
That's interesting.
If you're saying that, it might have been before flags came out.
There is
no. We're only a few people. We don't get everything, and it's always good when someone surprises us with something. We're going to have to delve into that because base building, it needs some love. I know bases aren't everyone's cup of tea. Look at the success of the day one servers with Smoke, but for some people, base building is DayZ. Having their little fort and sitting in there counting all their wealth and all the rest of it. But the base building, to be honest, I've been, and we're talking about Scum a bit later, but Scum's base building makes DayZ's look fucking ordinary.
I've never played Scum. Have you? I saw a prototype somebody did, just mock-ups, 3, 4, 5 years ago, that I thought was a really, really great idea. So they had mocked up these, I'll call them rooms for lack of a better term. So the theory was in DayZ, you could come and build one character could build one room. 2 characters could build 2 rooms. 3 characters could build 3 rooms or 4 rooms or whatever it was. But in addition to the rooms looking like little cabins or garages or whatever, it forced people to work together more so than now, because where one person can just, obviously arbitrarily build anything as big as they wanted. And I thought that was a good concept, not just in building, but in sort of the meta game of people not just killing each other.
That's an interesting concept.
I mean, I think that's so I might say, we're missing some assets, but I always tell people all the guns go pew, pew, pew. So how many do I need, But what I'd like to see is more aspects of how you can force people to work together. And one of mine is to make resources even less available, and that wigs people out like crazy. But what can we do with these things we have that you need to go up to that person and ask them for something, for help, for resources, for something, because there's such a limited supply and you can't find it.
What can we do? Very well, didn't it? Like with the lack of food and stuff and it being so cold, if you saw somebody in Vorkuta had a fire, you'd run over to them and ask, could you sit next to their fire or ask for food or what. I think Namalsk kind of brought that out where people were starting to work together a lot more and share food and items and such, which you wouldn't see on Chernarus or Livonia. They just KOS you.
Right.
So it is there, but I don't know how you
Clement Dabs just said it in chat. Making people value their lives is something that I've been brainstorming for a bit. And Clement Dab is the guy who worked on the moles with Sumrak, and that's one of the things I love so much about the moles is the frostbite factor. One, you had to value your character, because if you got frostbite, you got you get a permanent penalty to your health, which loses you that aspect of it. And 2, it encouraged people, like you said, to light fires, and that increased the chances of interaction. Now, depending on the server, that interaction could be just a bullet or a shovel in your head, in your stupid ugly face. But it changed DayZ for the better. And if anyone's got any ideas, put them out there for the likes of the modding community to become aware of. I'd like to see the opposite for a map like Livonia in maybe summer that is more humid, and it increases your heat. You start overheating, so you have to strip off. You have to be aware of the clothes you're picking. Putting on the high insulation, best insulation stuff is going to overheat your character. So you've got to strip off a bit and You know, I remember there was a patch in the early days of DayZ where everyone was going and sitting in the fucking water just to cool down. Now that was a bit extreme, but that's the sort of stuff which I would like to see. You know, having been in the military, carrying a backpack full of fucking shit and wearing military style clothing, boots, and all the rest of it, mate, you get fucking hot and you chew through the water. So even just increasing someone's water intake is another way of potentially getting more interaction. They've got to go to town they've got to make sure they've got bloody chlorine tabs on them to sterilize water. So little things like that, I'm excited to hear about.
So this I describe things to people. Sometimes I say, they go, well, it's not realistic that I have to eat, because if in real life I could eat every 5 days or whatever nonsense they have. I said, you don't understand that the goal is to survive or get to your base or whatever your goal is all these other things are meant to distract you from your goal and maybe put you in danger. That's what they're all about. And I even think, we talk about things like you say, at least the temperature started forcing us towards using different clothes and things, and everybody doesn't necessarily look like Rambo right off the bat. I think those are. Yeah. I think more forcing of choices needs to be made. Like one of the big things I've posted 50 times is you shouldn't be able to double carry, and you shouldn't be able to put any rifles in your backpack, and you shouldn't be able to put them in your crate. So think about what that would do for hoarding and for how, you see people, which of these 5 rifles should I carry? You should carry one because you're going to be dead before you get to the second one, and you never use your pistol. That's a different problem. But we have to force players to make more choices about what they do, what they carry. And to your point, last night we were playing, we stopped at a stream so we could get some water. But like you said, imagine if suddenly you're overheated and you're like, well, I got to dump this stuff and wait. I got to dump this stuff and just leave it and move on. And again, I need something to interrupt what I'm doing, mess with me, mess with my inventory, mess with my clothes, mess with my temperature, my food, my nutrition, and then I can move on and do what I've got to do. And that's, call it PvE for lack of a better term, but we need more of that. We need more.
Yes, definitely. You just made me think of something. That back to the original topic, talking about Reddit DayZ. I just realised what one of the biggest issues would be for groups like Reddit DayZ, the Facebook DayZ community, and so on. As we've been talking about, there are so many different ways to play DayZ. Now, Reddit DayZ is a broad category. It's not Reddit DayZ base builders. It's not Reddit DayZ PvPers. It's not Reddit DayZ survival elitists arseholes like Boydie. It's just Reddit DayZ. So you've got people from every aspect of the DayZ community who all have a different view on how DayZ should be played. And I think that's one of the things that leads to so much of the conflict that happens in Reddit DayZ.
Yeah, I'd say that one of the big ones is the first person, third person one. That comes up quite often. The hate on the third person ones. Obviously, we talked about PC and console. And then every once in a while, the sort of boosted loot servers versus the survival servers. Because, as we all know, 80% of the servers are of some form of traders, boosted loot, no stamina, and so forth and so on. I'm like Boydie. I'm like you. I like the survival aspects. I like. I have friends that run intens, and I play on that one sometimes. You have to take a nap every once in a while, or you fall asleep and things like that. It's great.
Hell retext.
Yeah, exactly. And I like those too. But but look back again. But look, DayZ picked up in some senses where Arma 2 left off, right, with Epoch and Overpoch and all of those things. Right, and it picked up right there, and now we've brought in the survival things later, and there's a little bit of a clash here and there on styles and gameplays and things, but there's definitely still. I'm happy to see that sometimes I'm not the only one saying, but to each his own, right? I mean, That's the whole point from Bohemia. If they didn't want us to mod it and do a million things with it, They wouldn't have had it all. They wouldn't have allowed it. They wouldn't have put it in there. But they did. They saw that value. They could have not done it, right? They could have just left it out from the very beginning and said, "This is what DayZ is going to be." But they saw the value, and I think the biggest issue is the console people are just dying for it. I mean, and they're never going to get it. Not due to Bohemia, but they would take it in a second. And I don't know if you saw, and I don't know if this is a communication issue or not, but I want to say the DayZ Twitter hinted toward them getting more access again. The init.c access that they've been asking for. It hinted at it maybe a month or so ago. So who knows?
Fingers crossed for them. Fingers crossed for them. It'll allow them to do some more stuff. But yeah, we shall see.
Yep.
We love our console people here. I do feel sorry for them, but at the same time, it's fucking amazing that they get to play DayZ. I'm still stunned that they managed to make it work on consoles.
Yeah, especially last gen ones. It was don't know how they done.
Yeah. And I looked up the specs one day because I never really knew what is the core specs on it. And to be honest, the core specs are lower than, say, a core PC spec. And that's add that to maybe not the most powerful servers in the world, and that's where you're seeing all that lag and craziness. But from everything I read, now that they've moved up to the next gen ones, now they're leapfrogging over a lot of the PC configurations that people have, and it's supposed to be looking really good. The thing I'd really vote for, if I could vote for the console folks, is to get a better selection of server providers. I think with some more high-powered servers. I think that in their next-gen consoles, I think we'd see a lot more happy console players.
What do you mean by that? Can you elaborate on that?
Right now, console players only have one choice of provider, and that's Nitrado. And I don't. So I have my server. I don't use a GSP. I rent a Windows box and build it myself. So I can make the choice. I want this CPU. I want this memory. I want this whatever. Nitrado is a single vendor, and they only provide these single configurations for the console folks. And so there's no shopping around. I can't go to survival servers. I can't go to GTX Gamer. And I'm not so I don't know if I should plug things. I'm just picking names off that I've heard and things like that. So no relation. I'm not getting paid for this. There's all these other GSPs, and some of them will say, well, if you pay us extra, you get more CPU. If you pay, so you get more memory, you get a better SSD. Or a dedicated box like we can get on PC Windows and things like that. And they just don't have that opportunity on console. They have only one vendor for servers.
Jacob, welcome, buddy. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. We've been talking quite heavily, and as is natural, whilst we're talking about Reddit DayZ, you can't talk about Reddit DayZ without talking about DayZ. But basically, we seem to have come up with the opinion that Reddit DayZ has changed a lot, mate.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, compared to what it used to be. It used to be much more toxic.
It's a long-held thing, particularly amongst content creators, that you're a brave man if you post a video on DayZ Reddit.
Oh yeah, yeah. That hasn't changed much in that regards. But yeah, just the general discussions are less toxic though.
But it is good to see, though. It is very, very good to see. Anyway, I'm just going to turn your volume up a bit. I think you're a bit quiet. Are you whispering, sleeping?
Well, I would be lying if I said I didn't just wake up.
Don't worry, I slept in this morning as well, mate.
I had alarms going off from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. and I still slept through them.
I woke up for my first one and pressed the snooze button, and then just eventually I must have actually not pressed snooze and pressed cancel or something like that. And the next thing, the missus is going, "Boy, what's the time?" And it's like, "Shit, 6 o'clock." Fuck. But yeah, no, it is good to see. Like as I said before, I've got that bot that captures all the posts and that, and the actual posts themselves, for the most part, aren't really that bad. As Ski was saying, there's a few that slip through every now and then, and you guys get on top of them as quickly as you can. But it's mostly in the replies, and a lot of that seems to come just from, it's Reddit DayZ. It's a big amalgamation of a lot of people who view DayZ differently. Everyone has their own idea on how DayZ should be played.
Yeah, that's why we got all these 50 million servers as well.
Yep. Like Clement Dab said, there's a server for everyone to cater to everyone's play style.
I think there's 2 servers for everyone at this point, really.
Pretty much, yeah.
we've got so many, but so but I think it's okay that we clash. Like you were talking, we clash on gameplay types, like first and third person. We clash on boosted loot and survival and things like that. I mean, we don't want people to hate on each other, right? That's not our point. I think it's when we've talked, when people just have nothing good to say about anything. I think that's kind of it. When somebody posts a video of whatever they're doing and whatever they've accomplished, or whatever raid they did or PvP they did, and the first comment has to be, oh well, if only I had this, if only they gave me that was promised 5 years ago. That's what we're just tired. It's enough.
Yeah.
We're 2 years past 1.0. I don't care what you want to call it. It is what it is.
We're not suppressing your right to free speech, brother. It's just a case of, okay, we've heard this point before. Maybe word it a bit better, because you can still say negative things, but you could do it constructively or you could do it critically. And if you just want to be a toxic critic, then maybe go somewhere else. The comments of a General Sam video or something like that. Yeah. No, it is time for a lot of people to move on. Never forget. But look at what it is now, and it is so much better than the mod ever was. And I know that's a controversial thing for some people. I'll probably get hate when I upload this, but it is. It's so much better than the mod ever was in so many ways. And anyone who thinks otherwise has got rose-colored glasses. You watch the old, even the Survivor games that were done on Arma 2, and they're very clunky looking.
Yeah, it's miles better in every way.
Mm-hmm. Except for vehicles. I will concede.
Oh, right through the heart on that one. couldn't resist on that one, huh?
Look, you got to call a spade at times, and yeah.
Yeah, well, we can't argue.
We can't. So we'll start moving on to the other topics of tonight. And the first one is, I was in Ike D's stream. Now, Ike D, for those who don't know, he's coming on next week. But he was talking about, he likes to do those charity things. He did the Tolga Hill charity climb last year, which was a fucking amazing event. Oh, hang about. Cairo. Yeah, mate, of course, mate. Jump into the Discord. We talked last week about the stuff with Rab Plays and Cairo. Give me a sec. Just join any of the... hang about. Do you? I'm pretty sure you've got guest roles.
He should be able to. Yeah, he should be able to join the general channel and then just drag him in.
I don't think we've got a general. Oh yeah, general. There it is.
Yep.
We'll just wait for Cairo to join, folks. He's in the... Are you in my Discord or in the podcast Discord, mate?
Yeah, I think he joined in the wrong Discord. Join the Discord link at that latest message.
There you go, mate. Just put the one at the bottom of the Boomerbot message.
There he is. And now he just has to join a voice channel.
All right. Yo, what's up?
Hey, Cara.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I am sublime. How are you guys?
Sublime, even.
Sublime.
Ooh. That sounds almost semi-erotic, mate.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, you know.
So, you obviously listened to the podcast from last week, and pretty much our take on it was a lot of much ado about nothing. I don't, as I said, mate, I don't care as long as it probably should be disclaimed, but you're choosing what fucking word someone uses.
I mean,
written or
yeah, I mean,
scripted.
I put written at the start of them and at the end as well. So even if they don't see it at the start, they're definitely seeing it at the end. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to hide it. I mention on my live streams that it's staged.
Mhm.
I reply to comments and tell them if they have to see stage. I say yes. You know, I'm not like I tweeted about it saying it's staged. I'm not trying to hide it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I really just want to say is obviously the whole issue with Rav is, which it was definitely aimed at me. Like there's no question about it, because just how he said it and how he tried to, obviously literally as soon as I uploaded my video, about maybe 15 hours after, that's when he posted it. And I was like, no one else is put out a video that has written in the title and then talks about it and all that shit. So I was like, all right, so you definitely aimed it at me. Obviously his response to my response was very childish, because I spelt written wrong. It was just a typo, you know. And at the end, and obviously he was very, very childish about it all. I lost my shit with him a little bit. Obviously it shouldn't have been on Twitter. I should have probably DM'd him. But at the end of the day, if someone's going to say something to me, usually, listen, I get comments all the time, right? And I get hate. You know, in this position, you do. It's just the way it is,
Yes.
and you deal with that. Okay, but when it's coming from someone who has a audience, you have to reply. If you don't reply to someone who has an audience, it's like you may as well, it's more than just one hater. You know what I mean? It's like if, for example, if I was on a stream and someone said, "Oh, what's your opinion on this guy?" and I started slating him, my followers are obviously going to start slating him too. Correct?
Yeah,
For the most part, yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Exactly. It's like if your brother gets into a fight, you know, you're gonna stick up for your brother because you support your brother and all that shit. You know, that's how it goes. So obviously, I had to reply to him. I may have said some things out of anger, which I did apologize to my Twitter followers. I ended up blocking them and just getting rid of it all because I just couldn't be bothered with it. Now, a recent video, for example, was scripted as well. Obviously, no one's really said anything about it, but you know, I'm not trying to hide it. That's the thing. I think everyone talks about Frankie, right? Like, oh, Frankie's this, Frankie's that, Frankie's good, right? He scripted a lot of his videos, and to be fair, I'd happily say he's probably not in the position he would be if he didn't script his videos, because I've seen a massive increase in my analytics since scripting videos. Watch time, views, everything, subscribers, everything goes up, and people absolutely love it. So I'm trying to bring it back, and you know what? If I have to take a little bit of backlash, I will, I suppose. But
my advice, mate, don't be afraid to use the word scripted. For me, it doesn't matter what fucking word
it can mean a few things, though, Boydie. That's the thing. Like scripted,
but only to people who really aren't going to watch your content, regardless, mate. People who've got half a brain cell, in my opinion, aren't going to care. Like we said last week, mate, I just want to be entertained. I just want to watch a good video. And DayZ is like a blank palette.
It really is.
Blank artwork that people can create the most amazing fucking shit with. Don't let other people's prejudices influence your decision, mate. To me, there's nothing wrong with using the word scripted. This is a scripted video developed with, and you know, if you word it correctly, people are going to be having to draw a pretty fucking long bow to be able to paint it in a and it's going to say more about them than it does about you, because you're declaring it openly.
I get that, you know, I should probably say it's scripted, but the thing is, a lot of people can see scripted to mean different meanings. It doesn't just mean something that's staged. Like, obviously, to you or a normal, you know, person with half a brain cell realize, okay, so is it staged? Cool, right? But I put written because scripted can mean a lot of things. Some people associate with cheating, like scripting, or you know what I mean. So it's a very like, for that term, it's a very like dodgy term to use. Hence why I used written. I mean, it means the same shit. I mean, you write a script, you know what I mean? It's obviously means the same thing. I think Rav was just nitpicking because he wanted to start something. I don't know. We used to have issues with each other when we were a lot smaller channels back when we were at like 1K, like smaller channels. Like we had issues. We made up. We're cool. But this time I think it's done for good. I just thought I'd hop on and clear up the whole issue and why I replied and all that stuff.
You're welcome to, mate. You're welcome to hang around if you want, because we've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, sure, man.
But
I don't mind.
don't ever be afraid to use that word, mate. For the people that matter, it doesn't mean a thing to. Yeah, what do you think about scripted videos, Marks?
I don't mind them just as long as nobody's cheating or
Yeah.
anything
Well-
like that. It doesn't matter. Just
I
go first,
do. I do all mine on private servers, so
Yeah.
it's not a public server. Like the reason why, Rav replied with the Milo meme I made back when Milo was cheating, but he was doing it on a public server, and he was using admin tools and he was spawning in stuff to he was doing all that on a public server. And he's done that more than once. So when he replied with that, I got a bit salty at him and I called him a prick. But you know how it is. But it's totally different. It's totally different because I'm doing it on a private server. Yeah, but I'm just trying to create entertaining content. Yeah, it might not be realistic. I understand that. Okay, I understand it's not DayZ. But when people watch my videos, like they comment saying this is the best video, best movie I've ever seen. This is insane, best on you, and that's what I want. I want people to be on the edge of their seats when I'm watching my videos. I want people to follow a really cool storyline that I can imagine in my head and make it into. But why are we called content creators? Because we create content. That's what we do.
Yeah, just as long as nobody's, like you said, it's all on private service, so no players are going to get, it's not going to ruin their experience, and nobody's cheating or anything. So I don't see a problem with it. Knock yourself out. If you enjoy making the
word it
content,
however you want.
go for it.
Pardon?
How do you think Reddit DayZ would handle this one, Ski?
It's come up a couple of times. I can't remember. One of the names that somebody just rolled off might have come up, and it's the same. You see the same themes over and over again. They didn't tell us. Between you and I think that's naive, given the world we live in and what we call reality television. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the same thing. And now you're saying it now for some, like, again, Frankie was kind of sort of the original DayZ, content creator that wasn't telling us. But now if I want, like you said, I want to be entertained. I want to go and I want to see content, and content means somebody put in an effort and they thought about it, and they want to convey a message. They want to convey a storyline. I don't know what else people can do to make it right. To me, again, as long as they're not cheating and ruin everybody else's fun, I don't see the problem. And it pops up every 6 months or so. You see one video, and then what? I want to say they're usually old ones too. They're making the same accusations against the same people. Even when Frankie pops up once in a while, it's like, hey, I think Frankie's coming up in 6 months. Hey, didn't he script all his videos? So
same people saying that must hate Netflix, eh?
There you go.
Must hate Netflix. If you watch Netflix, you have to be a hypocrite if you comment in other people's videos saying, "Oh, this is scripted. That means it's bad." Well, no. So do you not watch movies?
I like what Scalespeeder wrote in chat: WWE versus MMA. You can still enjoy both of them, but people are always going to throw shit at WWE because it's sports entertainment and not genuine fights like MMA. But WWE has a massive audience of people who just don't care. They just want to see the drama. They want to see the action. They want to just be, are you not entertained? That's all that people generally want. And stop splitting fucking hairs. There's more important things to, there's a post I'm going to be coming back to, but there's more important things in the world to, if you want to have righteous fury and indignation or something, pick something that's actually worthwhile and not something as like you said, Marks, as long as no one is being affected, as much as it's only pixels, as long as it's not cheating on a public server that people can play on. Exactly. And by public, we don't just mean official servers, we mean community servers that people are going on and spending their hard-earned time on, and being fucked over by someone. So
like that's the worst that can happen, dude. I mean, imagine being like, I don't want to talk about Milo loads because I don't like the guy, but imagine literally you've spent so long building a base and one of the admins come, TPs yourself over, kits out all his squad, TPs and spawns loads of C4. Next thing you know, you're getting raided. And it's like the dude's done nothing he's spent 2 minutes doing that, and then he gets content out of it. That's what pisses me off, and I feel like that's the worst thing you can do. I mean, I'm obviously I'm dead open about it. Like, I'm not trying to hide the fact that I know, air quotes, script content or write content, as I like to say, because it's something that people still love. And the fact that I've been transparent with it, people's, like, even you can check my comments. People are like, oh, even though this is scripted or this is written, I still love it. It's such a great movie. Or, you know, it's like it's so good to get that sort of feedback. And really, honestly, I'd say the scripted content is the best type of videos I've made in a long while.
Mm-hmm. And if it's keeping you refreshed and entertained and spitting content out, mate, what's the harm in it?
Yeah, exactly.
And I tell you what, it's a lot hard. And I'm saying this now. Anyone who wants the future script marks, I don't know if you do or whatever, but if you do, right, you will understand it is a lot harder to write content and get scenes than it is getting organic interactions.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so much harder. The amount of hours I spent. Usually, I'd play DayZ for about 7-8 hours a day, right? And then I'd get a little bit of content. I'd be sweet. That's organic. I swear to God, I have not slept since my last movie. Right, for a whole week, I must have got probably about 12-13 hours sleep. It is so hard because you got to rely on other people, not just yourself. You see, because obviously you have your actors and stuff, and then there's also getting the scenes correct so they don't look scripted and they still look organic and it's fluent and it's like, you know, like acting. So if it doesn't look right, you've got to do it again. If it doesn't look right again, you've got to do it again. Like the amount of takes I've done on some scenes is unbelievable.
Yeah, it must be crazy, like, you know.
You're making a movie.
It literally is like that.
I don't know if anybody. I'll go off on a tiny tangent. Watch the making of The Mandalorian, and it's a lot of CGI, and they use a video game engine. I can't remember which one. I mean, that was sort of made me think that. Yeah, I think it might be, and these gigantic screens behind the actors. So, tell me how far apart you are. How many levels removed you are from that? Not
honestly,
many.
Like, yeah, not many. I mean, I'm talking to an editor now, right, who does CGI stuff. Because I want to do the next step up. I mean, obviously, right now I'm stepping up my game a little bit, but I want to be like the top. You know what I'm saying? So I'm literally going to start paying for CGI, and I'm going to add it into like the DayZ, like DayZ. Like for example, if I shoot a helicopter out of the sky, I want that CGI'd hitting the ground and crashing or like kicking up dirt. You know what I mean? Like something mad.
Yeah.
I want to start adding that type of stuff because I feel like that will level my stuff. I obviously have to put more money into my videos, but I feel like it will just completely blow my channel up.
Yeah, if done right, it definitely will. Like I wouldn't even know where to start when it would come to a scripted film. I'd have no idea, you know, and the amount of time.
Well, you have to get the people. I mean, it's very hard, very very hard.
Yeah,
it's frustrating too. Oh my god, I swear. Sometimes, dude. It is frustrating.
Like you were saying with Milo, and he spent like 2 minutes getting geared and everything for a base rated meta video. It took me. We done base rated videos. It took me 3 weeks to get everything. You know, because we grinded it. Like it took us 3 weeks to get it all done before we could actually then
get all the stuff and you
know. And
but the thing is, in that 3 weeks that it took you to get that, I'm spending probably the same amount of hours it would take you just to get the scene done for a raid.
Yeah,
perfectly. Because you never know, someone may say the wrong line, or someone dies quicker than they should, or someone, I know, we blow up the front door and then the person behind it dies when they're not meant to, or you know what I mean, like something like that.
I've had that so many times. So when you're like make little trailers or something and you explain everything beforehand, and then you do it, and then
it's like getting scenes, dude.
Totally different, you know.
When you get cinematics, how long does that take you, Max, just to get a few cinematics for your video?
It depends on what I'm doing. Some I've done before and it could take hours.
I mean, with people.
Hours.
Exactly. Hours. Now imagine that in a whole ass video, like a whole ass video.
Yeah,
it's mad. It's mad. There's not just scenes. It's scenes as well. You know, it's everything.
For like 30 seconds of video, you're spending like an hour.
Yeah, it's mad.
One bit once, and that's basically how long it took.
It's crazy, mate. It's honestly crazy. But I feel like, for example, everyone was talking about making the Rust jump. I made the Rust jump first. I want to continue to do shit first. I want to continue making content. Like, I want to continue scripting content so other YouTubers can come up and feel like they can script content and you know, be creative. You know, reach their creative level rather than rely on organic stuff to come. That you may get a story, you may not. Or if they want to do a Rust jump, go to Rust. You know, do it. Just do it. Like, they shouldn't be afraid. They shouldn't. I know everyone talks about it and has conversations about it, but if you just do it, I mean, what's there to be afraid? Yes, okay, you get backlash sometimes. I understand that. I got that, but didn't stop me making the next one and still putting written in the fucking same video.
Like, making the jump to Rust could be the greatest thing they ever do either, and sometimes people just don't do it.
Yeah.
They're just afraid to do it.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to try something. Mix it up, folks, and just do what makes you happy, and provided you're not hurting anyone else, as much as, cheating on someone in a digital thing, it's still fucking someone over, because they invest a lot of fucking... DayZ is a game where people invest a lot of time and effort into it, and fucking people over in game is just not acceptable. That said, Milo, if you're listening, buddy, it's time to fucking dust it off and get back to fucking making content, mate. You've got a lot of people who are
all these
waiting.
I'm sorry, I disagree hardly with that. The dude, oh my god. I saw the podcast he did with you where he's meant to, confess or whatever. You literally asked him like 5 times to say sorry, and he still said, at the end, he said, "Love me." He said 2 words. Give me 2 words. You owe everyone 2 words. Boydie was pushing for it. And I was like, go on, Boydie. You're gonna get it. In the end, Boydie, you're gonna get it, dude. The fucking dude turns around and says, "Love me." If this dude comes back to making content, it's probably gonna be with some shitty sponsored video. And honestly, fuck Milo. I know I'm a smaller channel. I know you probably crushed me by saying a few words on his stream or whatever. He can suck a dick. Simple as that. The guy ruined. Look, he's done it so many times, dude. It's not just once. Okay, I understand if it's once and you apologize, it's sweet. I'm all about second chances. Don't get me wrong. I've fucked up in the past. I've said some things to people that I wish I could take back, and they do give me a second chance. It's good, but sometimes they don't, and that's why I give second chances. That's why I understand that. Okay, you can fuck up once. If you apologize, it's okay. You're right. Just don't do it again. Continue making your content. People love it. I'm not trying to stop people from getting content, but this dude's done it like 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Like God knows how many, right? And that's only what we know of. And he didn't even say sorry. He did not. He did when Boydie told him to say sorry, and that's what really frustrates me about the guy. And it's like, if he wants to come back, if he seriously wants to come back, he needs to be a saint, a complete saint.
And that's what I mean. That's what I still stay in contact with him because I'm a bit more forgiving being an older person, and just knowing some of the shit I did when I was a young person, and it's an entirely different world these days with the internet and all the rest of it, and we all make mistakes. But he's got a lot of people who enjoyed his content, and that if he's going to come back, he needs to have completely changed, and he needs to be not just 100%. He needs to be fucking 1,000% transparent on how he's creating his content.
I feel like if he does come back, he needs to make a video addressing everything, and he needs to apologize on his own back, not being forced.
I think I suggested that to him in the video with him. That he needs to, and he hasn't, and I'm a bit disappointed that he hasn't. But
of course he hasn't. Doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. The dude takes a break for 5 months, come back with a sponsored video, and he cheated in it on a public server. Like that shows to me what type of guy that is. Like, I get it. YouTube's a job. Everyone's got to get money. Money's what we live on. I get it. Okay, everyone loves money. I love money. But at the end of the day, when you literally can't, like, how obvious do you have to be? Like, you sat there, you get a sponsored video, right? You completely cheat your way through it. You don't do any cuts. I probably saw about 5 cuts in his video. When I watched it, I was like, what is this shit? Like, this dude doesn't care. Like, I don't want to say doesn't care about his fans. He probably does. And he's probably thankful for the position he is. But he's I don't know. I just feel like
lazy, sloppy at it.
It's just, it's not even that. It's everything in general. Like, when he used to cheat, I used to watch Milo a lot when I was coming up. I was like, oh, you know what, this guy's actually decent. And then obviously he started cheating and stuff. I was like, okay, that's a bit shady. But I forgave him. I continued watching his shit. And he done it again. And I was like, all right, this guy's a bit of a dick. And he done it again. And I was like, fuck this guy. He done it again. And now I'm in a position where it's like, I spoke about it. I decided to mention him at him because I'm like, Jesus, this guy's getting away with it constantly. I was like, how? Because he doesn't talk about it. And then obviously you had him in your thing, Boydie. And I was like, all right, Boydie's going to pull it out of him. And you questioned him hard. So I loved the interview. But when it came to the actual important part, where literally he's meant to stand there and say, yes, look, I cheated. I fucked some people's day up. Maybe even fucked some people over. And at the end of the day, I'm really sorry for what I've done. In future, I will not be posting any more cheating content. If I do scripted content, it'll be in a private server, it'll be this, be that, and apologize. And then he'll be like, that's it. Boom. Done. But you forced him, dude. You asked him like 5-6 times for the words, and he's like, "I love me." I'm like, love you, fuck you. How about that? Like, the guy pissed me off, dude. Honestly, if he came back to YouTube, he makes a video. Then I'll forgive him. If he came back to YouTube, I'll literally at him and tell him to forget the fuck off YouTube again, unless he makes a video.
You're getting some fans in our chat, mate. Lad is just saying I like this guy.
Well, it's the way it is.
Enjoy.
People asked me on my stream before. I said I never ever talk shit on another stream in my stream, but Milo, because that guy can. I know I'm not going to get too into it because I don't want to get you TOS or anything. But I tell you what, there's some things I want to say about this guy. If I saw him in real life, I would love to headbutt the guy. I would love to headbutt the guy.
That's going a bit too far.
Yeah, no, it's not. You got to think about how many hours people put into content for him to just spawn shit in on a public server and ruin people's day. Nah, it's not gone too far.
Are the videos still there, or did he take him down? I don't think I've ever seen
He took it down.
He took it down very, very quickly.
Right.
Yeah,
which I respect.
It was blatant cheating. It was blatant cheating.
Yeah.
He'd basically given himself God mode. You could see that his health was the main part that I remember was his health was freezing, but he wasn't taking any damage, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then in the interview with me, he admitted to doing a lot of stuff. So yeah.
Which, you know what, I respect him for taking a video down, but I think that was just because the backlash pressure. But I still respect the fact that he did it. You get what I mean?
Now I will ask you, mate, please don't threaten violence again, because that is definitely against terms of service on Twitch.
Yeah, it's all good, dude. Don't worry. I said I would love to. Didn't say I was going to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's fine.
Now, I'm only briefly going to mention this because we've got Ike D coming on again next week, and we started talking about this before. But Ike D has a alphabet challenge that we're going to be talking about, and I'd love to get some interest from people because he loves to do these weird things. You know, he did the Tolga Hill charity climb, but this one is about as a freshborn, you're only allowed to loot things that begin with the relevant letter. And then to progress to the next letter, you've either got to make the decision to skip that letter or actually get something from that letter. So, A, you could loot an apple, and then B, you could go to BK18, but you can't go back, and you can only go forward. I actually like the idea of it. I think it's something that would add a bit of like one that I think of straight away is the Running Man's quite famously done a challenge where he can only survive using stuff he loots off of infected. This, I think, adds a bit of next level challenge to it. I don't know what you're going to loot when you get to the letter X. Maybe he makes X a fucking a free loot. You get to loot whatever you want. But I think that could be something quite interesting for a lot of streamers out there to try and do.
Jeez, I don't know how you're going to survive off that. How do you eat an apple and survive, dude? Like, you're gonna eat an apple, then you have to go to B. What you
could eat as many apples as you wanted, I'm guessing.
Oh, is it? It's not just one.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's a lot of areas, and when we get him on, I'm going to be talking to him about it. And I'm keen to get as many people. Zombie Lee said there's a YouTube video on that somewhere. That sounds pretty cool. But yeah, he's even questioning, like, how do I award a winner? The person who gets the most loot, or the person who does it the quickest, or whatever. But if you can skip letters, I personally think you need to make it that you can't skip a letter, that you've got to try to find something. And then I said, and then the other issue I've got is, G, does that mean you could loot a gun, or do you go by the weapon? A could be AKM, or it's. There's a lot to work out, but I think he's onto something with this, something that could get the community a bit interested. A whole bunch of streamers doing the alphabet challenge.
It'd be the fastest, probably, speed run, right? I mean, because you can't really count on loot, can you? Because you're not going to make a base with doing an alphabet challenge.
Yeah, and I think it would need to be done only on official servers, because if you did it on one of those high mega loot servers, it'd probably be easy as fuck. Just go straight to a trader when you spawn in with your free 1 million fucking credits,
buy everything,
whatever. And,
buy an apple, buy a BK. Imagine, there you go, 15 seconds done. Don't get wrong, I love modded servers, but some of them are really, really stupid.
Yep.
Zombie Lee's saying he'll have a go. So I think that could be a bit of a winner idea, Ike. So if you're listening, mate, we'll talk more about that next week. But I was riveted. The other thing, I want to give him a shout out as well. If you've ever watched Ike on Twitch, his name is the same, just Ike_D. Every stream title is an anagram of his name. So you could go, I kill everyone daily. Again, just something I thought was quite interesting. Yeah, if Cairo, what would you kill yourself? Right? I don't know. What else could you come up with? Killing.
Oh, you mean for my
yobbos really obviously for your string title names? Just
oh god,
Marks would be make and make apples really. I don't know. But yeah, there we go. Ike, insufficient kills, expecting demotion. He's in chat. Actually, we've got to go back a bit. I like Zombie Lee's his title for the Alphabet Challenge video. I spent 4 million rubles at the trader. YouTube, insert creator. But yeah, Ike, I'm very excited for this, mate. And if anyone's got any ideas, hit Ike up because we were in his chat the other day, and yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait until he tweets it out, and we'll give it some promotion and get to see some really cool videos from people again. My favorite from the Tolga Hill charity climb was Uncooper's hill climb. That was fucking awesome. We'll be talking about Uncooper a bit more shortly. But yeah, I love things like that in the community. The more we can do to, just get people doing shit together and having fun and just maybe doing something different to what they normally do, the better it is.
You know what I think would be a cool idea? If you start off right, the first weapon you find, you have to use. Okay, so you have to get the ammo like equivalent to it, so like a 9mm, whatever. Or if you find a knife, use a knife. Or if you find a shovel, use a shovel. Whoever you kill, you have to use their weapon that they have on. Obviously, if they don't have one, you just kill the next, and you keep upgrading like that. But you can't use your previous weapon. So if you kill someone with, I don't know, say you got an M4 and you kill someone and they only have a BK-18, you got to use the BK-18. You go down, and you have to survive for as long as you can just to win that. I think that would be nutty.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be cool. I've done that on PUBG before. Whenever I killed someone, I had to take their weapon and use that, and you end up with some interesting things. But DayZ would be a whole different. Imagine killing someone and all they've got is a melee weapon. You'd be like, oh, fuck me.
Imagine going inland with a BK-18 against someone fully kitted, dude. Got an LAR just shooting at you. Oh, bro, that'd be mad. I'd love to see it, though.
Chat is saying, I think we should deforest all of Chernoris or Livonia as an event. That would be pretty cool, actually. I'd be interested to see how the server could handle that.
Oh,
it'd
God.
Probably, yeah.
I've got stuff to do, man.
Does they not going to do that?
My idea was that variant descriptors don't matter. Red raincoat, blue raincoat are both raincoats. Yeah. Okay, so you can't pick up clothing as a C. You've got to go with the way I have thought about it, Ike, was that the actual description of the item when you hover over it, that first letter is the letter that it has to be. Dab's saying it wouldn't be bad if you did that on the server. So cool. Maybe that's something someone can organise. A big lumberjack event like Charlie DayZ did back in the day.
There's the thing. Have you talked about Dab's Creator Z server he's doing? I'm quite interested.
Yeah,
in it,
we've been talking about that quite a lot. We're just waiting on go date, which is going to be sometime after about the 20th. I think they're looking at no earlier than the 20th because we're waiting on the next update for Namal. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be a very, very interesting. And Stimpy's name is in that Discord, folks. So
Stimpy's there.
And he tweeted out. He replied to a tweet the other day. Can someone please recreate the Rust Continental Hotel? I'm half tempted to fucking do it just for him if I can. Here you go, Stimpy.
I love his content, man. Honestly, I can't wait to play. I just want to see what type of things I get up to and what type of content can be made from it. I feel like it'd be good, even just to meet people I haven't met already. Like who's in the community.
I'm not really interested in the networking aspect of it. And I'm going to be playing on it, and I'm going to be doing my thing, which is probably just doing my survivalist sort of thing and seeing who I bump into that way. But the channel I'm going to be watching the closest is Uncle Ray Ray, Lax Hawthorne, Dirty Santa, and the Stimpy. Stimpy, I cannot wait to see the videos because I'm sorry, but there is entertainment in watching people get butt hurt. There is entertainment in that.
His Rust ones are very good on the content creator server. They're
I
brilliant.
don't watch Rust
my
videos.
It's so funny.
I watch him now.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Stimpy's content, man.
He is fucking amazing. Even his fishing videos. Ray Ray is raring to bits. It's going to be savage. Yeah. They're going to upset people. I know they're going to upset people, but I think Dab and Erno are aware of that. But this server reeks of drama amongst communities, Kimby's saying. It's going to be very, very interesting, folks. I'm looking forward to it.
I think Stimpy's content in general is just all about pissing people off. So I think he's going to be...
He's a troll.
Yeah, that's what he is. That's his content. They wouldn't have invited him if they didn't know what he's going to do. But I feel like he's going to be hilarious.
Look at what he did with the DayZ one with the admin tools on 1SK. We talked about that.
Bro, that was the funniest thing ever.
I would never have done that on a server I ran, but I'm not going to lie and say I didn't piss myself laughing when that guy was saying, "You are a hacker."
When he's on top of his roof, whispered to, he's like, "Hello, man. Can you let me in basement, please, man?" Bro, the dude's hilarious. Oh, I'll watch that. I wish he does another one, honestly. He put all the bear traps in the house when they came in. Oh my god. Bro, I love Stimpy, man. I need to watch him more.
Yeah,
he's great. He's
good. He's good. Okay, Ultimate Survivor. Now, I've been talking a bit about it, and Ski, this is sort of related to our little discussion in the Reddit messages as well. Let me just make this smaller. So I really want to see, and you didn't quite understand, and I imagine there's probably some other people out there as well who don't quite understand what I mean when I'm talking about Survivor game. They're all probably thinking I'm talking about the mod that came out. But as you got to see, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the original OG Survivor games. And just recently, I've been watching PUBG's PGIS tournament, which, if you've never watched one, I highly recommend you go and watch them. They are done very, very well. For the game, the game does have a few little issues here and there. What game doesn't? But they look fucking amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing. And my dream, as I said here, is something like that, but with DayZ. Now, we got to see a taste of it with Keegan's Battle Royale, but Keegan's Battle Royale is just that. It's a Battle Royale of DayZ. I'm talking about, you got to see, Ski, the Survivor games. What do you think?
Oh, it was great. Like you said, it wraps into the entire discussion we've been having over the last, 20, 30 minutes or so. It's great entertainment. Take apart from DayZ, take apart from a little wonkiness. There was a part of that video you showed me where somebody was whacking somebody with an axe, and he was saying, "I'm going to eat your soul" or something like that, and I laughed out loud. I couldn't stop laughing. It was the whole. You know what I mean? It's entertainment. It's somebody's making movies. Somebody's, this makes me think of, all the other tournaments of COD and all these other games, right? It's sports WWE. You've hit on all of the terms, all of the metaphors and things, right? It's just entertainment. Let's see some entertainment, and this is the vehicle to get it there and to pull us all together.
And you get, you can have a mixed bag of people in this, Jacob. You can have, the people who are going to play it hardcore, want to win. And then you can have the people like Lax, like Uncle Ray Ray, like bloody, the others, Mr. OG, who are just there for the fun. And you are going to create, because as you said, mate, it's those moments that I remember the most. I know Syndicate won a lot of them, but if you ask me who won each one, I probably couldn't remember. What I can remember is those funny in-game interactions between people. I remember in one of them, two people lost their partner, and then they end up making this. They were in Discord or something like that, but they weren't allowed to leave their Discord to join another Discord. So they ended up making an uneasy alliance and became a team together to continue on. And both of them not really trusting each other, but having no choice but to trust each other. And it just, if you pick the right people for it, it could be the most amazing fucking event you have ever seen. Jacob?
Yeah, that is true, but yeah.
You're not a fan?
No, that's right. Only thing I gotta say is don't ask the devs for any help. But yeah.
No, I've already reached out to them, and they've got nothing in the pipeline. So the only thing I do know is we cannot use the word Survivor Games. My stupid name idea was Ultimate Survivor. So to still kind of link it with that Survivor brand. But yeah, it'd be something that would have to be done by the community. I've reached out to
100%.
someone, I won't say who, and they're semi-interested in seeing what they can do. But the more the merrier. If you like the idea and think you can contribute, let me know. Here's the video here. This is Survivor Games 5, the finals. If you've never watched this, this is a 5-year-old video, if not more. Let's quickly click on the. 6 years. 6 years ago, almost to the day, February 11, 2015 was when the video was uploaded. An epic battle to the death between 16 teams of 2. Now you bump that up and you put it on a map like I think Namolsk is almost perfectly made for it.
Just not at night. Do it during the daytime.
Honestly, I think Valnin's going to be perfectly made for that.
Valnin's
such a good map for it. I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah, you look at the names they had in this. Wigaletti and Armedi, Silent Sentry, Anthony Kongpan, Sacriel and Break 71, Lyric and Short Guy, Deluxe War Sidearms for Reason, Gold Glove and Fairlight, Summit, Mr. Shades, Psy Syndicate and Cat, Mr. Blackout and Jam Jar, Mr. Moon and Blizz HD, which is Chow, 2MC, Cortex, just so many, White Boy 7 Straight, so many amazing people, Shizzle, Thadrius, just... if you could imagine replacing those names with people who are big in the community now, seeing Mr. Bloody Ben Fruit and fucking Lax Hawthorne as a team, and then Uncle Ray, and who would you stick with Uncle Ray? It'd have to be someone who just couldn't stop laughing at him. Just names like that have an elimination leading up to it, so some smaller people can get the opportunity to play in it as well, and that's how they used to do it. They'd have an elimination where people played off against each other to get the chance to be the ones to join it in that. But I can't see it being anything but good for DayZ.
Yeah, no, it could be fun. Could be fun
if it's done the right way. Yeah, definitely could.
I mean, if it's random duos and you just get. I hope I get someone good if I do. If I do participate, I hope someone who has got a head on the shoulders. Nothing.
That's kind of what I lean towards is random duos. Because maybe there'd be some prizes if we could get some sponsors. I don't know. That's I've never managed to get a proper sponsor yet. But I think that part of the challenge would be in people would just it's entertainment. And not knowing who you're going to get teamed up with, and having to work with someone, if you put someone like say Minder and Tope together, those guys are going to dominate. Smoke and fucking the Running Man together, they're going to dominate. But if you mix up the Running Man with Uncle Ray, oh my god, the shenanigans that would happen from that.
No, random would be would definitely be fun. I just hope
Fingers
if
crossed.
he joins, I don't get with Stimpy. He's just gonna put
friendly.
I'm friendly. Starts
Friendly.
reloading in front of me. He says, "Don't worry." As soon as he says that, I'm shooting him in the face. I swear to God.
Okay, so we've got a couple of topics we're talking about now. A bit of drama in the DayZ community. Barely a week goes by without some. And none of
God.
this was on Reddit, by the way, guys. It may have ended up on Reddit, but it's all started on Twitter.
At least
So
it's
we
not
had
me.
we had Cooper, who is a very well respected member of the DayZ community. He's an Australian. He's got a really cool clothing mod out there. He's been an admin for a number of communities and that, but he had I don't even know how to word this, a rant. I've thoroughly had enough of the DayZ community. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. I've just realised I need to share my screen. No. You guys should be able to see that now.
Yep.
There's a person who is, for every genuine person who wants to have fun playing a zombie game, there's a person who is ready to use or manipulate people for clout or money. It's rampant, and I swear people just turn a blind eye to it. I've seen over and over servers allowing glitches and toxic people to remain on the server just because they donate. And on the same token, I've seen streamers keep stream sniping and leeches around just because they're a 2-month sub and donated $100 last week. I've seen people appear in chats, intentionally befriend the streamer mods, donate or give subs, and try to leech off the streamer. And sexism, hypocrisy and sexism. I don't want to speak to the women of the community, but just from what I've seen, the shit that gets said to these people, the way these lonely losers act online, it's revolting. From in-game to members of chat, to even the streamers themselves, they think it's funny to say revolting shit to women or about women. And when admins or streamers let it slide, it not only turns people away, but it sets a precedent. There are so many super genuine streamers, many women who deserve so much more attention to get better treatment by the community. But the moment one of those women kills a male streamer, the reaction is so fucking negative and gross. I've seen it over and over. Male streamer with 50 viewers gets killed by a female streamer with 10 viewers. Male streamer calls them a bitch and a whore. In the chat, Omega lolls over it. Grow up, dickhead. It's a zombie game. You don't act that way when a bloke kills you. And I've seen people come around to support women too, but others don't celebrate the person receiving the support. They celebrate a man who just wanted to help the woman. It's fucking weird. And it's support small streamers until they get partner. It's I'm doing X on this day. Help me. It's join my stream team so that you auto host me. I've had enough. I used to play every night. I used to watch streams every night. Now I don't bother with either. I went to public service to avoid everyone. And other than hackers, I had 10 times of a better time. The DayZ community is definitely rotten. In other words, pain. And before anyone suggests I talk to these streamers and these server owners, I've had these chats with people. I pointed out to streamers when their chat was gross or when I see a racist gets banned for no shit, 3 hours. It's a systematic problem. It was pretty full on.
Okay.
I agree in part, but I don't agree in total.
I mean, for him to say the community in general's a bit. No, I don't think that. I don't think he meant in general. I think he meant just the certain people. But the whole woman situation. I mean, there's always going to be people who, look at female gamers like they're not equivalent. They're just dickheads. Like a female could easily slap just as good as I know me. For like when I stream and I kill people, they can do just as good as me, if not better. I mean, it's just because they're female doesn't make them, automatically bad or, you shouldn't be. I don't know. I feel like it's just a lot of mind my French, like virgin gamers out there. That's just the way they act, and I feel like. Yeah, it sucks, and we can speak up as much as we want, but it's not going to change their mindset. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be the same issues, same problems. But the best thing to do is just to block that negativity out, and just continue doing what you're doing. Honestly, if you're a streamer as a female, do that. If you're a streamer as a male, do that. But as for the male to call a girl a bitch, I feel like he needs to set a better example for his followers. He shouldn't be talking about other people, even in general, not just because she's a streamer.
I'd personally like to know who it was myself.
I have no idea.
Because that is someone that I would name and shame on the show. If people are doing that, that's not fucking on.
It's out of order.
Call someone a fuckhead or a cock or fucking whatever, but don't deride them based on some fucking demographic that they may or may not belong to. That said, I think the comment about the DayZ community is rotten. No. The DayZ community is just a community like so many other communities out there. All communities have bad aspects to it, but the DayZ community is not fucking rotten, and that's what I got took the most umbrage at.
Yeah,
What
I
I
agree.
personally think it is he's reaching a point where he's not happy with DayZ, and that happens to all of us. And all of these issues that he's seeing are adding to his anger at the game, and that's not having a go or anything. But DayZ is not. It's fair to call me a bitch. It was a frustrated generalization. Zombie Lee is saying in chat. So
yeah, no, I agree. It definitely is. It's just.
Sorry.
I'm just saying, it's like I played Rust recently, right? I tell you what, some of the people on there really piss me off. I could just be like so angry sometimes. I mean, to the point where I want to destroy my whole setup, and I could just hop on Twitter and put a massive post. And I think that's what he's done. I feel like he didn't. Obviously, he was angry at the moment. He done that. Like me and Rav was I called Rav the P word, and I was like, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. I did apologize to everyone and say you shouldn't see this on your timeline because I was in anger. I know what it's like, and I feel like he's done the same thing there, and without really thinking about it. I mean, yeah, a lot of it I agree with, but the community thing, yeah, he's probably. I don't think he meant it in like as a whole. I feel like he meant certain parts of the community, which he should have said. Because certain parts of it is rotten. I'm not going to lie. I agree with him. There's certain parts is rotten. There is people out there who say racist stuff who only get a ban for a day when really they should be permanently banned and reported to DayZ because they shouldn't be saying that. It shouldn't be a thing at all. I've played with people before who I've met who said racist stuff in my call, and I'm like, why the heck? Like, you think that's acceptable? Just and I kick off at them, and they're like, wait, what? And like I'm in the wrong. I'm like, no, you know what I mean? So I understand that is a big issue. And the whole, like cheating aspects and and all that jazz. I mean, there's always going to be.
Look, I'm going to call you out right now, Cairo. So is threatening violence over a video game, like you did earlier.
I said I would love to. I didn't threaten him.
Yeah,
I didn't
say you're splitting hairs on that one, mate.
No, I said I would love to. I didn't say I'm going to go.
I know, but it's still something that it's over a video game. There's more important things for people to be to get that upset over. But you're right though, mate, about the we need to call out bad behavior when it happens. But to then generalize and say the whole community is rotten, there are parts of that lad, you naughty boy, you.
But to be fair, it's more than a video game. When I said I would love to, it's not just a video game. I mean, at the end of the day, this is our jobs. This is what it's like. I don't know, how can I put this? It's like going into a store, right? Say you own a shop, and someone comes into your shop and just steals stuff and takes money out your pocket. You know what I mean? Like just takes it all in a split second and it's gone. This is our livelihood. This is what we've got to pay bills for. So I find it more offensive to me personally. Hence why I said I would love to instead of saying I would, because it's not just a game to me. It's more than just
People are saying in chat, you've got to call people out and let them know it's not okay. And I do agree that the behavior you walk past is the behavior you accept and allowed to go. So that's why you've got to call out. That's why I said about you with the what you'd like to do. That I try not to say things like that. But at the same time, I know I probably have in the past. So I'm a fucking hypocrite calling you out for it because I know I probably said I'd love to knock that fucking head off.
We all do the same shit, dude. It's just
we all fall down to our primal instincts at times. As much as we like to think we're advanced creatures, at the end of the day, we're just rather clever monkeys that still have primal instincts that sometimes rise to the top. Ski.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it, I suppose.
Yeah, but he raises some good points. I imagine there's certain communities that are allowing stuff to happen. Call them out though. Call them out. Don't just allow it to happen.
I felt like they should name and shame. They should name and shame.
I've been a member of some of the communities he has, and I'm happy with those communities. DayZ Down Under is one of my favorite communities. He used to be an admin for them, and I love DayZ Down Under. They do a fucking amazing job. They've got some people who they've allowed in there who've been naughty boys in the past, but it's still just a video game. And these aren't people doing it for a living. These are people doing it for fun. They've upset some people by allowing some people back in, but I get along with those people. At the end of the day, I've been told people don't like me anymore because I support cheaters and all the rest of it. I don't support them. I just give them a platform to talk. And I believe in second chances for people, and that goes for everyone. So, yeah, it's end of the day, the DayZ community is not rotten. What do you reckon, Ski?
Well, you were really close to saying it a little while ago. You were just about to say, I think, the DayZ community is not unique, right? There's always going to be these bad apples. There's always going to be these people who go fly off the handle, who make these comments, who denigrate people, who racist, whatever it's going to be. And just like everywhere else, because of Twitch, because of Discord, because of Reddit, they have a platform. And because they're here or there or everywhere, they have a little bit bigger platform in that community. And it seems like at times that they're more visible than they should be. But like you said, name and shame, and just ignore them and push them to the side and ban them. And they're not getting the attention they're going to need, and they'll fade away.
Yeah, exactly.
Jacob?
Yeah, like this Mark's guy.
What do you reckon, mate?
This Mark's guy does my head in.
Toxic, dude.
So toxic, honestly. I swear to God, Mark.
You agree with Skigoggles, do you, Jacob?
Yeah. Eventually, their voice just fades away.
Yeah. Yep. And call people out at the time when they do any of these really bad things. Hey, Jacob.
Yeah. I haven't seen any major ones with the people I speak to, but yeah. If it ever happens, yeah, call them out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty simple. But you can get a lot of feedback on it. But I noticed, and I follow on Cooper because I respect the guy. He's fucking an amazing content creator, and it's obviously based on something that's got him upset. And yeah, but we will now move on to the next drama. Uncle Ray. Now, before we go any further, we have a new segment that we will be doing. Our boy Brimstone, whilst he can't be here every week now, we came up with a way that he can still be here as part of the show. So if you give me 1 second, I'm just going to open up a video. You guys should be able to see it now.
Yeah, it's loading. All right, I can see it.
This week, since I can't be on the podcast, made this little video here just to put my 2 cents in on one or two of the things from the agenda this week. So I've chosen this week for the 2 tweets. They are numbers 4 and 5 on the agenda. That's Uncooper's tweet and also Uncle Ray's tweet. So they're very similar in the basic idea. But I'll go for Uncooper's first because I think there's a little bit more to unpack. So Uncooper's first tweet basically says, "I've thoroughly had enough of the DayZ community. For every genuine person who wants to have fun playing zombie game, there is a person who is ready to use or manipulate people for clout or money. It's rampant, and I swear people just turn a blind eye to it. I've seen over and over servers allowing glitches and toxic people to remain on the server just because they donate. And on the same token, I've seen streamers keep stream snipers and leeches around just because they're a 2-month sub and donated $100 last week." And he goes into other bits as well, talking about sexism and hypocrisy and various other subjects in regards to, to the DayZ community in general. I wanted to unpack that one first because there's parts of it I do agree and parts I don't agree with. And the parts I don't agree with kind of fold into what Uncle Ray said in his tweet as well, which we'll get to. But as far as Uncooper's concerned with the parts of his tweet, I do agree. If you're a server owner and you are allowing people who are glitching, breaking some rules, just generally being dicks and being toxic, if you're allowing them to stay on your servers because they donate to your server, or they in some way give some sort of funding or some sort of positive influence on your server, then you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. You're that's going to drive away your player base. You know, you will have new players come to your server, bump into these other toxic players, and then those nice players that just joined will then leave because they don't want to deal with that toxic shit. You know, so all you're going to get is 1 or 2, maybe 3 idiots that are maybe paying you a little bit of your server rent-in fees every month, playing on your server, and you're never going to grow your server above that. Now, I understand there are obviously people who do it not because they want a server that's, you know, a full 100 pop server every single day. Some people do it just for the fun of doing it regardless. But if you are a server owner and you're trying to grow your server and you're trying to grow a community on that server, letting these people stay isn't going to work. And the same goes for streamers, to a degree. You know, having stream snipers around.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it before he talks about the stream sniping thing. I agree with him. Actually, we didn't really kind of delve into the bad people in server communities. But when there are people who are very divisive in a community, allowing them back in, it is a risk, isn't it, guys?
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
We had
So
it.
definitely. Sorry.
We had it recently. Like, we were making videos and we were on a server, and because these clan were donating to the server, they had the admins in their pocket pretty much, so they never got in trouble, or if they needed anything, they got stuff straight away. And we were given out to for stuff that, you know, isn't a bannable offense or anything like that, just because, you know, these guys are donating, I'm guessing, a bit of money or whatever towards their server, and they knew the admins, and so they kind of had a bit more privilege over everyone else. And they ended up, like, they were constantly toxic and chatting all this stuff as well, and at the end of it, you're just kind of like, what's the point in playing on the server? You know, it's not...
See, I think there's potentially a series there for you, mate. Look at how popular Anarchy's videos are, exposing cheaters and all the rest of it that he does on his servers. People fucking love them. I personally, I don't like them. I don't think you should give attention to them. A lot of the people who are those little cheaters and all the rest of it, if they're that way inclined to spend money to buy cheats for a game, then they're going to love the attention, be it good, bad, or otherwise. But if you were to do like hit pieces on servers, yeah, obviously you need to make sure you've got all the proof you need in that. But I think people, it's a common thing you see. I'll use Reddit as an example here, Jacob. When people talk about, you know, I've just been on this server, everyone wants to know, well, who was it? What was the fucking server? Don't give us a generalization. Tell us the actual server so we can, you know, they cannot defend themselves, or, yeah, or you know, other people can confirm what you're saying is true. I'd like to know what servers are reputable and what servers aren't. What do you reckon, Jacob?
That becomes a bit hard, because then you have all these false accusations just being thrown around as well.
Yeah.
So,
But I would much prefer, myself personally, a direct accusation against me rather than an insinuation. I'd rather have the chance to be able to defend myself, or have people go, oh yeah, they were talking about Boydie in that video. I reckon that's talking about Boydie.
well, on Reddit, if there's hard proof, the post will get approved. If there's not,
Yep.
it gets removed.
And that's the key point. Hard proof. If it's just generalizations, if it's just something like that, shut the fuck up until you get some actual proof. Otherwise, yeah, Marks, I would love to see stuff like that, mate. I would love to know who are the rotten eggs in the community. You know, we get a lot of stuff insinuated to us, you know, a few messages here and there. And, yeah, we talked a while back about these pay-to-win servers and all the rest of it. Well, give us some hard proof and we'll expose it on the fucking podcast. We'll show it. I don't care.
Like, I made videos on them. It was base rate videos we done, and people in the comments were like, well, like, I didn't give out any server information or anything. I just didn't mention it because I didn't want the backlash. So people knew straight away what servers they were, and people were like, why did you not name Shem? I was just like, I don't want the drama, I suppose. And I have a feeling something like that could get very toxic and very out of hand if it wasn't, you know. So I'm like, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, we get about a good 1 or 2 of those a month. And like Jacob said, every once in a while, it's literally like this server sucks, and there's just nothing, and the heck with that guy.
That's bullshit.
But then do you get ones that are lengthy and they explain it and they throw screenshots in and but even then, every once in a while, somebody will come and defend themselves and they'll go, that's BS, XYZ, whatever. And then next thing you know, delete, right? So I've found as sometimes it gets a little heated, but it works, right? People come, they defend themselves, and you find that all of a sudden people are backpedaling or people are piling on, and you get 10 more examples. And if people don't like it, and ours, they'll downvote it to oblivion. And if nobody knows who the server is, it just goes away. And so, as long as we do a little bit of filtering, it's a good forum to. People got to know where the bad men's lie. People got to know where the bad players lie. People, and I always tell them, get off those servers. Go somewhere else. Why are you staying there? Because that's the worst thing you can do is stay there and complain.
It's what we done.
Because I don't want to. Sorry.
That's what we done. We saw we just got off. We're like, okay, we're leaving this day. We just left, and now I've looked on that server. I won't give the name of it, but I looked on that server now, and there's no one on it. It's empty now. A month later.
I don't want to hear about the petty drama sort of things. I'm more interested in where it is a corrupt server that is either scamming people or stuff like that, where they're allowing a mega clan to just completely fucking dominate because they're the whales of the server, putting the most money into funding the server and all the rest of it. People have a right to know when a server is like that, because there's nothing worse than joining a new server and working hard, grinding hard, getting your loot, building a little base, and then some fucking mega powerful clan that can buy bloody 10 breaching charges for $100 off the owners come in and just destroy everything you've worked on.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest, if you're actually paying for C4, then you're literally a virgin. I'm sorry. Like how the hell do you pay? Like you spend 100. Imagine trying to buy C4, man.
I haven't seen it as much with DayZ, and maybe partly that's because my server isn't that popular, but I was a little more popular on A2, and I talk with a lot of other admins and owners, all this other kind of stuff, and the stuff that we ran across that people were paying for, subscription services and cheats and all that, it just blows my mind. Hey, I just want to get on a game with some friends, have a little fun, do whatever. Like, I can't even imagine what drives people to get to that point that they want to do all that, pay for it, and ruin it. I'd rather have the randomness of spawning in fresh and figuring out what the heck I can do for the next hour. It's much more fun.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Okay, so we'll continue on because he's now talking about streamers
and people who are constantly showing up and annoying you, but keeping them around because they're a tier 2 sub or because they've donated some bits or whatever last week. Again, that's not going to work. I mean, a prime example of it actually working to a degree are like Tim the Tapman and Nick Merckx when they're playing Call of Duty Warzone. They've constantly got stream snipers going at them constantly because of who they are, because of their position. People want that clout for whatever reason. But for them, it's sometimes it is they're getting killed, and they can't stop themselves, they can't defend themselves because other people, those people that are killing them, are watching their streams, so they can see what's going on. So on the other hand, though, they do have friendly stream snipers that will fly a helicopter in, let them kill them, and then take all the loot and go, and they've a bunch of money to go and buy a loadout or whatever else. So it is a double-edged sword, I think, in that regard. As for the sexism and stuff, I don't know. I can imagine it probably is still quite a thing. I don't play as much as I used to nowadays, so, and obviously I'm not a female, so I'm not on the receiving end of that crap at this point. But yeah, Uncooper brings up some good points. If you're just basically letting someone hang around, and have an effect on you, whether you be a streamer or a server owner, just because they're donating a little bit, like, that's not the way to go. You're not going to grow that way. You're not going to have a good time that way, and it encourages these people to keep doing it. You're not going to be the only community that they do that to. There'll be other games and other communities that they'll go into and act the exact same way if unchallenged. So, get those people out of your servers, get them out of your stream as best you can, and just say, look, I'm running a legit operation here. If you don't like it, do one, and eventually they will. You know, it might take a bit of pushing, but they will. So moving on from that, Uncle Ray Ray's tweet kind of falls into that same stream sniping or similar stream sniping kind of category. His tweet says, playing a certain server at a certain time, knowing other streamers quite often have to come through that area, such as Vorkuta on the Mausk. Is this just another form of stream sniping, using other people's platforms to help grow your own? Just curious as to thoughts. So yeah, I'll cover this
Okay, I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't say mummy and normal then, but we'll continue on.
a little bit. I think it depends on the map as well, but like he does make a point. You know, he does say then later on in when replying to other people, heard the same person probably 5 or 6 different streams of more influential streamers now. So you do get it. You are, again, you're going to get those, you know, especially with Uncle Ray Ray being that he's such a popular figure in the community. And there's a lot of buzz around him with his partnership and his stream team and things. Obviously, he's going to be a victim of that sort of thing quite often. And he draws attention to himself with his personality, and that's not his fault or a bad thing. But that's gonna happen as well. Like you said though, Vorkuta on the Mausk, with the Mausk itself, is a tiny map. Even if it wasn't a tiny map, you've still got because of the type of economy, the loot economy, and with the weather and everything, and the changes that came with 110, you know, you've got to stop in Vorkuta. No matter who you are or what you're doing, you have to stop every like 5-10 minutes. You have to go house to house on a lot of servers, unless you've got a server that specifically got it set up so that it's easy and you spawn with 6 cans of food and 10 drinks and enough guns and ammo to take on an army. You've got no choice but to stop in Vorkuta. So you're gonna run into these people, you're gonna run into streamers, you're gonna run into stream snipers, you're gonna run into other people, just, you know, through the fact that you're playing on a popular 40 player server, and everyone starts in and around or around the outside of that town. So the only place to go is to just keep going into that town. You know, it's not like with Chernarus where you can run down the coast for 10 minutes to a different town. You know, you have to go inland immediately to survive. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there and freeze to death, and that's not going to be fun. So I think it's inevitable. It's inevitable that we're going to see stream snipers. We're going to see, you know, bumping into multiple people, hearing multiple people on other streams and stuff when you go into it. Because if I'm a player and I'm playing on, say, one of the day 1 servers on the Mausk, I've still got to stop every 5-10 minutes, have a fire. I've got to spend a good hour at least in Vorkuta looting up, because there's going to have been other people there, so the loot's not going to be as plentiful because other people are going to have picked it up. I may have to make some friends and say, oh, have you got any spare food, or kill people and take their food, however I decide to play it. But if I'm playing on that server and I've got all day to myself, I'm going to be sat there playing for 10-12 hours. I'm going to bump into a lot of people during that time, and I have no control over whether 6 of those 10 people are streamers or not. So I can't control that. The streamer can't control that. No one can be, apart from just logging off after a couple of hours, but why should I log off? It's that kind of mentality that I don't quite agree with. It's inevitable because of the size of the map. On Chernarus it's different, because obviously you can spawn as far down as Kamenka and as far north as Svetlo, and you've got basically the entire, you know, coastal side of the map. You can spawn anywhere. It's huge. On the Mausk, that's not the case. You have to stop, you have to make fire, you have to eat, you have to interact to survive on the Mausk. So it's going to happen. If you're having a long play session, it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a bit of 6 of one, half dozen the other. But the one thing I wanted to take away from both Uncooper's tweet, Uncle Ray Ray's tweets, and a lot of people's tweets, and the replies to these tweets, and I've seen other people make these similar tweets and these, or certainly, you know, commenting on other people's videos and things like that with this sort of same idea. There's a part of me that can't help but think, but why do you give a shit? Like, if we take Uncle Ray Ray's tweets just at face value, where he replied to Zombie Lee there saying, heard the same person on probably 5 to 6 different streams of more influential streamers now. So that tells me that in that situation, Uncle Ray Ray's offline and he's just watching. He's watching a few different streamers that he enjoys. Happy days, carry on. and he's hearing the same person on each of those streams. The problem is chances are each of those 6 streamers or 5-6 streamers that he's watching are probably all within the space of a couple of hours in that top half of the map of Namaus, which is quite small, probably in Vorkuta, maybe down as far as the dam. He's going to hear that because everyone's going to be bumping into everyone in a small area like that. There's no avoiding that. And seeing a lot of these similar tweets and conversations going on, I've seen them in people's Discords. Like I said, I can't help but wonder, like, why do you care? If you're not there, if it's not affecting you right then, even if it is affecting you right then, don't care. Like, they're not having a massive effect on you and your community. Concentrate on you and concentrate on your community. Move forward with that and let the ones that are acting stupid, stream sniping, stream stalking, just generally being a pain in the ass, people are going to wise up to that person very, very quickly and no longer give them a platform or care about them enough to engage in them. They'll recognize their voice, say, I'm not dealing with you, and just KOS in game, and it gets rid of that person for a short time. Eventually they will trail off. So if you're someone like Uncooper, like Uncle Ray Ray, you know, if you're anyone at all, if you're hearing multiple streamers or multiple people in different streamers chats and things like that, don't worry about it. You know, yeah, granted, it can seem a little bit dodgy, you know, that they're using, trying to get a bit of clout using other people's communities, but that's kind of in a way how you grow. You know, I wouldn't have been invited to Uncle Ray Ray's stream team had I not watched his streams and actually been a streamer myself and played. And I accidentally bumped into Ray Ray a couple of times on servers. Even on his server, the idea was to go in and just kill everyone and team up and do what you want. You know, so I would bump it. So, and I wouldn't necessarily be in the position I am today, being part of his stream team, had I not somehow got indirectly some clout through his community. So, you know, everyone's going to get that. Everybody's going to get that little bit of clout. Everybody's going to get that from streamers. It's inevitable. You know, my advice or my thoughts on it to kind of clarify and close it out is, don't worry about it. Stick to it. Stick to what you're doing. Let everybody else do what they're doing, and just do it that way, and just grow yourself organically the way you do, the way that works for you. If what works for you is, you know, you bump into 5 different streamers in the same day, whether that be accidentally or on purpose, carry on. If you're someone who grows by just making friends with people and joining communities, it's all the same. Just carry on. Just do what you're doing. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Just concentrate on yourself, on your community, and bettering yourself and your community moving forward. Because otherwise you end up with, you know, 500 people tweeting the same bloody thing every week, talking about stream snipers and clout chasing. It doesn't get us anywhere. It doesn't help in any way. So don't worry about it. Concentrate on yourself and your communities, and everything will be fine. No need to worry about it, in my opinion. But thanks very much, guys. I'll end it here. And I hope to see you guys on the podcast again soon. Stay safe, guys.
Very well said. Very, very well said by Brim there. I'm glad I asked him to do those because he raised some very, very good points. So we'll open up Ray Ray's tweet. He had a lot more action on his tweet. But yeah, I used to play grumpy old games all the time until certain streamers played it. I kept dying on the coast this morning. This said streamer, I must have seen them 3 times on the coast, got accused of sniping. It goes both ways, doesn't it, there, Jacob? Okay, Jacob's AFK. I'll go to you, Skigoggles. It can be both ways. Oh,
yeah. Go ahead, Jacob.
You keep on cutting out for me, so yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, does go a bit both ways.
I think Brim's analogy there, Ski, of the Namolsk map was a good one, in that Namolsk is probably the most popular server right now, and nearly every man and his dog wants to play day one, which is a point we'll delve into as well. So, you know, I was watching Smoke the other day, and he had 3 streamers squad up with him. And, you know, straight away, your spidey senses start tingling, going, "Are these legit meetups?" But then you've got to bear in mind it's a small map, and I reckon a good at least quarter to maybe a third of those servers would be content creators. What do you reckon, Ski?
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to gravitate, right? Everybody wants a shot at the champ. Um, although I do disagree. You can get through the map without going through Vorkuta, but I digress.
Yes, I do that myself for that reason. I don't like going into Vorkuta.
Yeah, no, it's kind of it's like
You're
the
on the phone
valley.
if you don't go through Volkuta.
It's like the valley. It's the valley of death up there. I mean, let's be honest.
Yes.
Scurry down the coast and get to the south. But
Oh,
yeah,
no, you
everybody wants a shot, and I don't know. I've been all the whole time he's been talking. I've been trying to think of an analogy of where you have someone, I'll say, sort of a professional, and where you have someone, right? They're never that public. They're in a public place where anybody else can have access to them, good or bad, right? I'm trying to think of another entertainment venue or sport, or we did all the other things you talked about in this entertainment world. You're always usually walled off, and I can't think of another good analogy of where you're not walled off. And yeah, there's not a good way to. There's not a good comparison to make. But you're putting yourself out there, and if you're going to put yourself out there, for better or for worse, it's going to happen. So don't, to his point, don't give them the time of day, and don't give people attention that you don't want to give attention, because that doesn't help.
I have no doubt, Cairo, that there are people doing it for the reasons that Uncle Ray is alluding to in here. That there are, I call them the thirsty boys and girls, the ones who, there's a lot of people who might not be doing it deliberately, but they're only playing day one for the chance to maybe bump into a Smoke or the Running Man or someone like that.
It happens all the time.
I've dabbled in day one, but I kind of avoid it for that reason. I don't want anyone to think I'm a thirsty boy or girl playing on one of those servers, Cairo.
It's just, it happens on any server. It's not just the mouse. Like, I could play Chinara sometimes, right? And I'll be drinking at summer camp on the well, for example, near Novi. And I'll have a guy walk up to me and just put his hand up saying hi, right? And it's the same guy who obviously he didn't change his name, and he's in my stream. And it's like, but really? Like, in one of my videos, I say, right, this is how we deal with stream snipers. It was a friendly one, but I feel like even if you're friendly and you still want to come up, if you're trying to get organic reactions, you shouldn't be still stream sniping, even if friendly or not. But obviously, as a streamer, it comes with it. But I end up putting him in a room, unpinning a grenade and dropping it in front of him, and then close the room. That's just the way it is. You have fun with it. You just, I mean, if you show too much attention to them, they're just going to keep doing it. And I think eventually, if you stop and if you say they do it, you shoot them, move on, don't talk about it. They've got nothing, like nothing's driving them to come to you on a daily basis anymore. But I mean, for the clout situation, like if you're doing it for clout or whatever, just do what Marks did. PayPal me $100, right? I'll shout you out. I'm joking. Nah. Honestly, just don't acknowledge it. Don't acknowledge it.
But yeah, Marks, it is an interesting issue, because you get the ones who are just the friendly ones, but when you're talking more about content creators, like Ray says, bump into that person, try and be as funny and entertaining as possible, suck up viewers and hosts, rinse and repeat. Yes, mummy. I've got no doubt there are people out there doing it, but am I sure of it? No. I feel that way, but that could be for a multitude of reasons. We're very, as I said, we're at times we're just primal, very smart monkeys, but we're, our thought processes are fed by a lot of different inputs, and it might just be you don't like a person, they don't like their style, so automatically you start to think negatively of them, and then you start to assume, and they always say never assume because we'll only make an ass out of you or me, but you start to assume, this person's fucking stream sniping. What do you reckon, Marks?
Yeah, I've had it multiple times where just even friendly stream snipers just come up, and it kind of ruins the experience, because instantly it's not organic when a person walks up to you dead silent standing right behind you, out of nowhere, and they've no clothes on or anything like that. It's like, okay, you're clearly a stream sniper. I usually kill them or just run away from them, because it's just it denies me more than anything happens. I've had it quite a bit.
But just we're getting a bit off topic here. We're talking more about content creators who are stream stalking. I call them stream stalkers.
The stream stalkers or something. The content creator ones, it probably happens. Definitely happens.
Well, it does. It does happen.
If people do that, I think it's cheap and it's very kind of. It's a shitty way to grow. It's not the right way to grow. You know, your channel, if that's the way what you're trying to do, which I'm assuming you are, if you're stream sniping them while streaming or whatever. Just do your own thing. Don't be annoying these other streams, because then if they stream snipe you and they find out they're just going to have a negative thought on you, they might block you or whatever, or they'll never work with you again, or that type of way. Like,
it's not a good way to network.
Yeah.
Like if say for example, right, I had an incident before with a smaller YouTuber who came to me during a stream, and then he was an alright guy, Obviously, I later found out that he actually first stream sniped me later into our relationship as friends. I got on with him great, but it just ruins it. It ruins it all, because I'm like, so you're when you think you're friends with someone, it's very hard to get out your head when they're saying, all right, they stream snipe you just because the fact they have a channel or they have a stream they're trying to grow and use your name for or whatever.
It's the same way when people ask for shoutouts.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I didn't get here by leeching off anyone, you know what I mean? I grew my audience, I got my own fan base, I've done this, I've done that. Yes, I've collabed with people, but I've never asked directly, yo, shout me out, do this, do that. If you're going to do something, I feel like, a prime example would probably be the whole, what's Frankie's friend called?
Sada.
Sada. All he gets is, where's Frankie? Where's this? Where's that? And then on his channel, it's comments, where's Frankie? Where's this? You don't want to be that guy. No offense to Sada. Sada makes great content, and I feel like he should have more views than he gets.
Yes, but he does.
The reason why his views are down is because of the whole Frankie situation being sort of a sidekick. And, Sada's a great guy, and he makes banging content. I watched some of his videos. He makes banging content, but all anyone is interested in is the person he plays with. And if you're trying to grow that way, it's not a good way to do it, because you could end up like that.
It's that way where you'll get you might get some followers and stuff, but you won't get any viewers from it. That way, you'll have the followers but no viewers, or
Look, and part of it comes down to, and I'm not saying this to disrespect anyone, Jacob, but part of the reason why I have avoided day one is for that reason. I don't want people to think I'm just playing day one because every man and his dog is doing it. I'd rather do my own thing on servers that I enjoy playing. And that's to say, I've enjoyed day one. I have played on it, and I love what they've done with it. This back to that old feeling of DayZ. But people are going to be aware of what they do and how they act. And if they're seen to be constantly bumping into the light of a smoke and the Running Man and a taupe and all the rest of it, then people are going to start to think, are they doing this deliberately? They need to realize there's more than just one server to play on. So they've got to take some responsibility for their own image, Jacob.
Yeah. Well, I like playing on day one. It's fine, but I got the advantage of I'm not streaming, so I don't have that look about it. But yeah, touching on what was said earlier, when you're stream sniping to get a friendly reaction, you're not going to get popular like that. There's a very low chance. There's only one streamer I know that got popular that way, and that's What the Heck from Shroud. That's it.
Mr. Moon as well. Mr. Moon, potentially.
Did he stream snipe? Did he originally stream snipe?
Look, he bumped into him. So, I asked him in the interview with him, and he goes, no, but did I? He left it open. It was a fucking awesome answer. I love Mr. Moon. If he did, he made the most of it, and kudos to him. But it was a one-off.
What the Heck was constantly on PUBG.
What the Heck. And What the Heck is a bad example.
But that's the only example I can think of where it's actually works in someone's favor.
Yeah, Shroud, in my opinion, fucked up with Wadu because he just gave. For those who don't know, Wadu Heck is this guy. I think he's South American or something, just with the accent Latino, and pretty much all he says is Wadu Heck.
Yep.
Wadu?
Wait,
Wadu
is
heck.
that all he
But-
says?
That's all he
Yeah,
says.
that's all he says.
He says
And
no other word.
No.
He does it with inflections. Wadu wadu, wadu heck, and wadu when he's sad and things like that. And sometimes Shroud would kill him. Sometimes he could run with Shroud. And then it ended up that Shroud would start actually streaming with him. They would partner up together and they would play games together. And all I could think of was that is such a bad example because. Oh, yeah, legit. He's made absolute bank too. He was having streams with thousands of people watching him. I think he did talk in his streams, but when he was stream sniping Shroud, all he said was Wadu. And he always wore the same outfit so that Shroud could recognize him. And he just did it that well, this character, that Shroud started to love him and the audience started loving him. And yeah, I don't know where Wadu heck is now, Jacob. Is he still big?
I have no idea. All I know is that he was big at the time, and that's the only person I know that.
I've
was
never
big.
heard of him, so
got
I
big from that.
doubt he's any big now.
I think I saw a
That's
tweet
zombie
for
saying-
him. Right, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. No,
Um,
you go ahead.
I think I saw a tweet. I don't know if it was a Shroud retweet or something from Wadu saying that it was only a couple of weeks ago that he's actually going to be talking now and stuff, and he's I think giving up the Wadu heck thing to do his streams like where he'll just talk normally and be himself.
Yep.
So
Okay.
whether it'll work for him or not.
It'd just be boring. Imagine going into someone's stream, they're saying the same word but in different tones. Like I can't.
Oh.
I couldn't.
Look, it's a credit to his tenacity. I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't entertaining. I used to watch a lot of Shroud clip videos back in the day, and when he bumped into Wadu, it was usually quite funny and entertaining. And Shroud obviously has made bank, so who am I to say it's right or wrong? But all it did, Zombie Lee saying in chat there, Wadu was one of like 1,000 snipers, stream snipers of Shroud and that. Come on.
Yeah, that was
But
my point.
it doesn't matter that he was one of 1,000. For the people out there who are emulating what Wadu's done, they see Wadu's success. They forget about the 999 others who got nowhere other than laughed at or killed by Shroud. They see the one guy who managed to make bank, and they're like, yeah, I could do that. I could fucking do that. I've just got to be funny enough. I've just got to be cool enough. I've just got to, and then they start to do it. At the end of the day, though, I think most people would much rather a Wadu than the toxic stream snipers who just want to make your life a living hell. And I've seen, the Running Man has had one where the guy watched where he logged off from one stream, and then when the Running Man logged in for his next stream, the guy had boarded up the building that he logged off in and was standing there waiting for him and killed him. And it was like, really? You're that
dude does not have a life. Oh my lord! Imagine doing that and waiting.
Yeah, and you just want to hold up a doll and say, show me on the doll where the Running Man touched you. What did he do to him to make him be that upset with?
But then doesn't that come into like server admins then, where like shouldn't he not be able to go to servers and be like, listen, here's a clip of
Running Man plays a lot on public. Running Man plays a lot on public servers. So I know on private servers, the Running Man went to an admin, they would definitely take action. But it's why a lot of people play community. It's for that reason because they can, But just I don't know. End of the day, it kind of comes back to what Brim was talking about, though. Ski, but did it need to be said? I'm not sure it did. We're all aware of it.
Yeah,
it's a bit drama.
I think you're right. I think this brings us back to the beginning of the whole conversation. This is another form of people being toxic and wanting to get attention, wanting you to look at them, whether or not it's what they say, it's what they do. They spend too much time trying to have people say me. Right. And live off the fame, I'll call it, of others, or the hard work, I should say, of others. And you know what? Like I think everybody here, I don't want to speak. I think everybody's kind of in agreement. You can't give them the time of day, whether or not they're toxic in their speech or they're toxic in their actions, and they will fade away. They really will. But you just can't give them the satisfaction.
I must say though, it's hard not to. Trust me. Like once you get streams, like say for example, like I spent ages. Like everyone knows DayZ, right? You spend hours. You spend hours on it. You spend hours getting your gear. You spend hours setting up base, whatever you do, and it just gets ruined by a stream sniper. It is hard not to say something.
Yeah.
It is so hard because
It is.
I get frustrated really easy sometimes, and when stuff like that happens, oh my lord! Like sometimes I ignore it and I try and move on. But when it's blatant obvious, I feel like I have to say something. I like because if you don't, it's not good. It's not good for you not to hold stuff in as well. Like I don't feel like personally because
I remember back in the day, Jam Jar used to have someone actually off stream running behind him because he was having that much of a problem with stream snipers, and this guy was there just purely to intercept stream snipers because they generally come from behind you because they're catching up to you. So yeah. Jam would he bumped into someone and he goes, "Oh, there's someone back there," and he goes, "Don't worry, that's just my bodyguard." And then he explained about how he was having problems with stream snipers, and he had a mate who would literally run along behind him just so he could play the game and try to be as organic as possible. But I've got to agree with Aussie Rogue here, Marks. Literally, it's the reason why I do not play day one as much as I would like to because they are always full. I was going to try tonight. I'm still not sure because I never want to give anyone the excuse to think this about me. And I'm going to elaborate on that, Marks.
Yeah.
I can't be fucked sitting in a queue.
Oh, yes.
There are that many servers out there now. If I see a server and it's a queue and I join it and it's not just one or two, gone are the days where I would sit there for half an hour to play my favorite server. Fuck that shit. I don't care about the fact that I might get to bump into Smoke or the Running Man, fucking whoever else is playing on the day one servers. I'm just not going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
I will go and play a server I can get into straight away, even if that server's only got 3 or 4 people. So I'm totally with him on that.
Yeah. That's the reason I haven't played it. I haven't played day one. You nearly kind of be a little bit like nervous going into it because you're like, I'll never stream on there, number one. I'll probably never make videos on there because you just don't want to be labeled as one of those people. And honestly, I don't want to really run into them. If you know, like those servers, they're always going to have content creators. I don't really want to go on there and accidentally run into them even. I'd rather go and play a different server and just, not run into them, not be bothered with it. And
Yeah. Definitely. But no, it was an interesting discussion. But did it need to be said? Probably not. Yeah. Okay, Sumrak. No, sorry, we're looking at Icarus now, and fuck me, Icarus is looking good. I've got to say, it doesn't have quite the gritty, authentic, real look that DayZ has, but this little clip here, all I could think of, and the reason why I chose it is it's a bit ironic. It's a bit ironic for me. We still can't throw a fucking spear in DayZ. Dean Hall and Brian Hicks get together and make another game, and they've got spear throwing and fucking working bows already. Motherfuckers. Can they come back to DayZ and put them in for us?
Yeah, where'd that code come from? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Send it back.
Amazing what you could do with a feature complete engine.
Yeah, good point. That's why I like having someone like you on, mate. You've got the more technical answer, but yeah, it's. I'm excited to try it. They've still got to. I say it every time we talk about Icarus. They've still got to explain to me why spacemen are using fucking wooden spears and bows and arrows and not laser guns. But
Because
I'm
it makes
certain they'll
good-
get
for
there
good
with the
gameplay.
look. Yeah, it does.
Can I say that?
No.
Am I the only one not really hyped for it?
I don't even know what the hell it is. So
it's a game that Dean Hall has come up with, and now he's got Brian Hicks on as the project lead for it. But it's basically you do drops onto planets to gather resources and get back to your ship. And I'm just excited. Obviously, I'm a DayZ fanboy, and Dean Hall's the guy who created it, so I'm following it very closely.
It's a time survival game. Basically, trying to survive by the end and get to your thing before you die.
So there's like an objective or a storyline, or is it just?
There's an objective. Yeah.
Okay.
That's just what I can gather. Yeah.
So it's something
But you
different.
can build a
I'm
base to
excited.
stay there because you need to take time. So it takes time. I don't know how long they're wanting the base sessions to last. I don't know anything, but I'm assuming it just takes time to live. So you got to build a base. You got to stay. You got to make camp. But your end objective is to go back to space.
I just want to know how strong this guy is to be able to throw a spear on that flat of a curve. Fuck me.
It's space, low gravity.
But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'm following it closely. I'm excited to see what happens with it, and yeah, we shall see. Now, Sumrak shared a tweet. Which one was this again? We had a lot this week, so I'm having trouble remembering everything. Oh yes. Oh, this was fucking awesome. Check out this amazing DayZ themed short film. Includes lots of beautiful shots of Chechnya with many DayZ like real life places. Definitely recommend watching for any DayZ fan out there. Now, if you haven't watched this,
Yeah, no, I've
Yep,
seen it.
audio
It's
is
really good.
Yeah.
It is,
Don't play it on the stream. Just give it to everyone so they can get the views.
yeah, I'm just showing the start of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I do all of these things, mate. I only show a few seconds of and I show the main. I'm going to show what happens at the beginning. It is phenomenally filmed, lots of drone shots and just little things like a hunting stand and that exactly like one's in DayZ. But upon the little jet going out, if you have not seen it, highly recommend it. There's very little dialogue, all done, music, just brilliantly fucking done. The only issue I am going to say is they got the law wrong.
I'm sorry, were you speaking in code or?
Yeah, you're
No,
I wasn't the only one hearing that.
no.
Yeah, when
Your
when you
voice
put up the
crackles a lot.
video, yeah, when you put up those videos, your voice completely cracks up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's only because you're sharing your screen on Discord.
Yeah,
So-
probably. No, I was saying they got the law wrong. That infected don't turn you infected when they bite you.
Hmm.
The law of DayZ is that all of the survivors are immune to the virus, as I understand it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember.
I know you can
apparently
get
it's on
ill.
the actual stream as well.
You can get ill of zombies, can't you? When they hit you. But I feel like
you
that's
can
it.
get ill like cholera or
Yeah.
something like that, or salmonella, I think it is actually. But
The Namalsk lore actually says that there are people who are immune, and I only know that because Asmondian has been asking me to review his lore documents he's been posting, and I just read it last
Mhm.
night, so it's in the Namalsk lore.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
No,
You're
it's
immune from being a bloodsucker or something like that as well.
mhm.
It's really
But
well
they're
done. man.
bloodsuckers. Because it's
An
so
amazing
period
video,
of time later.
completely different to the stuff Mr. Utah's doing. This one relies very heavily on music to emphasize the emotion, which I liked. I thought that worked brilliantly for it. So definitely go check it out. I'll try to remember to put a link to this at the end of the podcast as well, for those who haven't watched it and are watching the podcast, which I doubt there'll be anyone not watching the watching the podcast who hasn't seen that video. But yeah, absolutely fucking amazing, and it's great to see. I think I put a tweet out. We're very blessed at the moment between Mr. Utah's stuff and then stuff like that. Amazing, absolutely amazing. We've done Brimstone's thoughts.
Whitney?
Sorry, what was that? Yes, mate.
Can you stop streaming your screen? Stop sharing your screen to us on the Discord, because I think that's what's causing it.
Okay.
Yeah, because apparently it's also happening on the Twitch stream.
As I said, it was when I put the video up, so I just won't put any more videos up.
I'm still hearing it a bit now as well.
It's not as bad.
You
but
guys in
it
Discord?
still comes in a bit, yeah, every once in a while.
Okay. Maybe.
Just stop sharing your screen, and then because we could just watch the stream to see what you're sharing anyway. It's only
Yeah.
like a 2 to 5 second delay.
Oh, it just makes it awkward for Marks because Marks is using that for your stream as well, aren't you, Marks?
I can show your stream. That's fine.
Yep. Okay, so. Okay, how's my audio now?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
better.
There we go, much better. So we've also got Wobo's video, the new meta AP rounds. Oh my god, I can't say how happy I am that the AP rounds are finally going to get some love. Hardly anyone uses the VSS, and now with a 20-round mag, that thing is going to be, as Wobo put it in his video, it rivals the best weapons in the game now. The FAL versus a VSS or an ASVAL loaded with 20-round AP rounds, you are not going to win that battle. If every round hits, the ASVAL is and the VSS with a 20-round mag loaded with armor piercing, it's the new meta. I think we're going to see a lot of people wanting to pick up the VSS or the ASVAL now if they can find it. Mark's did a video saying it's impossible to find.
Couldn't find it.
Have any of you guys gotten to get your hands on it yet? What about you, Cairo?
Hasn't that already been modded though? I swear it's already been.
Yeah,
modded.
there is a few mods out there with that gun. Yeah.
So it's probably like I don't know. I just feel like it's pretty hyped up. I swear AP only takes away the plate carrier aspect of things, and it doesn't do any extra damage than a 5.56. But with it being silenced, on the other hand, like building silencer, I feel like that's an advantage. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the gun. I feel like, you guys will know what I mean. You play DayZ, so when you hold a gun, you feel a certain way when you're playing with it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Like the shape of it and how you play. With that, it's just too clunky. I think is probably the correct. Is that? Yeah, that's a word.
I personally love it. I love the fact that the rounds take so long. There's a certain, there's a certain fun. Like it's my favorite weapon in PUBG as well as the VSS. I just love fucking with people because it's so quiet and just watching the rounds just pepper all around them, and they've got no idea where they're coming from. And I'm excited for it in DayZ now. Ski, what's your thoughts on the gun and the 20-round mag?
Yeah, I mean, for better for worse, and everybody wants to play like they want to play. The weaponry needed to go up a little bit of a notch. People need something else to aspire to, just a little bit harder to find and a little bit more power. Maybe not nearly like the Gauss rifle and the Malsk, but they just needed something. And like you said, it'll throw a wrench into other people's plans about how they normally wander and how they do things, because now there's something else out there.
There's your damage ratio, Cairo. So jacket and backpack and vest. And most people now will run with a either a press vest or a plate carrier, especially on servers where they've modded it so you can have the plate carrier and the Smersh vest. And I think it's going to be a big meta on a lot of the high loot servers where everyone runs around with no stamina, wearing the massive plate carriers and that. You're going to be mad if you're not carrying a VSS or an ASVAL with a 20-round mag for close range encounters. Cara?
Oh, sorry, I was talking. But pushed. Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
No, the 506 does 55 damage, 9 times 39 does 95. Oh, mad. All right, yeah, well, fair play. I mean, listen, personally, I don't like using the gun anyway, so I don't know. I'll probably, if I had an option, I'd rather use the M4. I feel like I'm more accurate with it. But I don't know. I mean, it's good for people because it's something new, isn't it? So, like, some people who may not play modded and just stick on the official or whatever, they're experiencing something new, and you never know. People may start using it more often. I mean, but
if you can find it, the things it's only spawns telecrashes. Like, it's crazy how rare it is.
Well, I mean, it would if it's doing 95 damage.
True.
It's basically an LAR, isn't it? So people
were not happy with it though. On the video I made of it, they were furious over it. They're like, it's just a VSS.
I don't get it.
I don't either. I tried to explain it to him, but I gave up in the end. I just stopped reading the comments.
I feel like they're all modded chads, probably same as me, because we're used to it. We've played with it before.
A lot of console players were kind of like, "Why give us this gun? We already have it." I'm like, "You asked for content, you got it. Be happy." But it just doesn't work.
Somebody said that in chat. Content is content, and we should be happy.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I'm a fan of the VSS and the ASVAL. I had no idea it was coming. Like you said earlier, Ski, it just sort of come out of nowhere. It was like, oh, okay, where the fuck did this come from? But I can't wait to see people using it. And there's going to be a lot of butthurt people when they get absolutely shredded by someone with a 20-round mag at close range. Going, I had full fucking armor. How did he do that? It's the new meta, folks. Get used to it.
Yeah, no, it's
Be very, very wary of it. Okay, so we have got now Sumrak teasing us all. Found a little something from Bubson Records in Namol's data. What does it mean? Name location A3. What's an OGG file, guys?
Audio.
Sound.
Okay.
Just another sound. So, I mean, there's A1 and A2 on the malls. So I guess there's going to be an extension of the lore, right? Because the lore up until 20, for what 10 years of lore only took us to A1 and A2. So I guess what is it? The knack is back, and what is it? Whatever corporation, I can't think of what they're called. Night Stalker Corporation, is that what they are? No, I'm sorry, I can't keep up on the lore. He's going to add something, and between you and I hope it's on the Eastern Island. It needs a little love over there.
I have been to that island, I think, once in all my hours. There's just no real reason to go there.
What's the Eastern Island? Which one?
The Eastern Island of the Molsk?
Yeah. But I can't remember which one.
There's the hospital. There's a construction site, a hospital, a pier.
Yes.
And the bridge is way down at the end. And I have a little camp. Nobody comes. I just sit there and hunt and fish every once in a while. It's pretty.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's nothing.
I forget that area of the map exists.
Yeah. It's quite.
But this isn't the first teaser that is released about A3. He had that one with the person staring at the whiteboard with A1 plus A2 equals A3, but it was a question mark. So this is just kind of confirming that it's going to be Athena 3. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see what they've done with it. You look at what Athena 2 is, the object that teleports you, and what else have they got in store for us? They're really opening up what people can do with the game. That it doesn't just need to be high loot, mega loot, no loot fucking servers. You can do more than to create your own. I'd love to see someone else come up with something, an entirely new map with its own lore and some strange shit happening and just stuff like that, because people want it. Namalsk has proven it. It's brought people back to the game, and people are just enjoying it. There's something different. Like the reactions of people when they experience the object for the first time or an EVR, it's next level, isn't it, Jacob?
Yeah, Namalsk is just good.
Yes, Namalsk is good. Isdon is good.
I hadn't played Namalsk in years. Namalsk hit in December. I jumped on a server, and I'm running around, and all of a sudden you start hearing the voices and the giggling, and
yes,
I thought it was somebody that had Kuru. I'd forgotten, and it was nighttime, and then everything turned red. And again, I hadn't played in so long that all of a sudden, and you're like, holy crap, this is, like you said, there's just something extra in there, right? There's just, and I keep saying, we're back to Reddit, we keep seeing posts, who's a new person. What the hell is that? The sky turned red, and it shook, and I hit the ground, and the pop everybody got in December was great, really was.
Yeah. It was absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see what else they come out with, and if someone's working on anything different as well. Okay, next topic we have is Mr. Utah now has a Patreon, folks. So please, why is
Mr.
that
Utah
not
was in
working?
chat just before.
Yes, he probably still is. What have I? Oh God, prior preparation and planning prevents piss poor performance, folks. I've got it in.
He will find it first.
There we go. So please look at joining. It's your way of helping support these videos that he's doing. I know Lax did an amazing fundraiser stream for him, and he's had a good donation from that Mad Lad AWOL as well. But it's ongoing support. If people can do it, that's really going to help keep this vision alive. He's only got 3 people at the moment. It's $27 per month. I'm somehow pretty sure that you're not going to be able to hire a camera like that for $27 a month, folks. So probably couldn't even buy the axe. So yeah, definitely look at subscribing to the Patreon if you can. He really needs that ongoing support from everyone, folks. Pathfinder Plays video. Okay. Drama. But this one, I don't know, did all of you guys watch this video?
I skipped through it.
You skipped through it? I watched it the whole way through. And it was a very, very well done video. I don't agree, and I'll outline why I don't agree. But the basic premise of it is why Scum will beat DayZ. DayZ will die to Scum. So straight away, that gets my back up. It's another DayZ is dead video. Yo, how many have we seen come and fucking go? Zombie Lead, the drama podcast returns. But he actually raises some very, very good points. Now, earlier this week, I went and played Scum again, and I fucking struggled. But I struggled the same way that someone who'd never played DayZ would struggle. The mechanics are complex, very in-depth, and I had forgotten nearly everything I fucking knew. But I've got to tell you, I found the channel called Raykit, and he's got a beginner's guide to Scum. I'm going back and I'm playing it again. And the reason I'm playing it again is for primarily one reason. The crafting and survival elements of Scum make DayZ look like fucking Hello Kitty Island Adventure. They are phenomenal. The shit you can craft vanilla in the game is phenomenal. But this comes with a caveat. Scum is not the same type of game as DayZ. Scum is more, in my opinion, an MMORPG. You pick attributes at the beginning, you assign them to your character, including the length of your penis. I believe you can have a female character, so it must be maybe boob size, I'm guessing, would be the equivalent. Big boobs or small boobs. But with the guys, the smaller your penis is, the more intelligent you are. The bigger your penis is, the higher your constitution is. So these all affect the skills that you can then specialize in. Yes, they've gone with specializations. So think Skyrim. Think you get your attribute points and you assign them to various attributes, and that shows how good you or bad you will be at various skills in the game. And the skills are very in-depth. There's stuff from driving, which means you won't grind the gears as often. You can drive faster and the tires grip better or something like that. But what concerns me the most is there are skills for things like stealth and camouflage and awareness. So this is one of the aspects I do not like about Scum. So you're saying that because someone has better points than me, I'm not going to be able to see him, even if I'm looking directly at him, even if I'm remaining aware of my surroundings and looking around, just purely because they put more points into their camouflage and I don't have a high enough awareness rating, I'm not going to be able to see him. That's why I say it's an RPG. And it's
I
not...
feel like it just limits you, honestly. Like, the game just limits you. You can't... Like, the reason why it won't die to Scum is the simple fact DayZ is DayZ. You could do whatever the hell you want. You could be whoever you want. You can. Your story is yours. With this, you're limiting yourself straight off the bat. Like, due to your penis size gives you certain, advantages. I guess it's stupid. It's like it limits you. It's pulling you back from what you can actually do. If you're gonna do a survival game, make it survival. Make it like you're in control. But really, it shows you're playing a game. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that title. Honestly, really don't.
It's kind of annoying when you need a medical degree to learn how to keep your character, from getting sick. You have to be a doctor to figure it out.
It is absolutely insane. Let me see if I can bring it up. Scum HUD.
Boy, be careful what you Google on the fly.
Yeah, put that on a different monitor.
Oh, God, that's not what I wanted. You can sort of see it here. Scum's probably a dodgy word to type in. But all of this over here is your medical. The amount of vitamins you have, the amount of minerals you have in your body, your stomach volume, your intestine volume, your colon volume, your bladder volume. your muscle range, your muscle mass, and fast WCR, medium WCR. I don't even know what half this shit is. And quite frankly, I'm not interested. When I play it, I'm going to be playing it purely to find out more about their crafting mechanics, which I would love to see even a quarter of them implemented into DayZ. The crafting in Scum is, oh my God, fucking amazing. Scum crafting guide. It's got this amazing mechanic where, Kyra, you could be making a base and you could go out and you could get a whole pile of planks and nails and all the rest of it and just have them all laying on the ground around you. So it will let you automatically just put that stuff into the thing. I don't like the fact that there's no actual animation of building the item, but it detects in the vicinity, because you know how you're sometimes standing there and you've got nails on the ground below you and you're trying to build a wall and it won't let you because the nails aren't in there. Its mechanic actually detects that there are nails within that vicinity of you and allows you to build it based on that, either being in your inventory or on the ground around you. It's so fucking smart. The other big plus that I have for Scum is almost everything in the environment is interactable. Be it every tree can be chopped down and turned into, every bush can be chopped down. Certain trees, you can harvest them for things like olives. There's corn, there's sunflower seeds. There's just so fucking well done with what they've done. And please, all I'm encouraging people is to basically look at it as something different. If it's not your bag, it's not your bag. But back to the video title, DayZ is not going to die to Scum. DayZ will die to DayZ eventually. It'll just become, everyone will have moved on to something else. But I love Pathfinder. We've had him on the show before. He's someone I call a friend. But I do hate the constant array of, it's almost like a badge of honor for someone to be the final nail in the coffin of DayZ. Well, why do people search for that, Mark? Why do you think there's such an obsession with that?
With DayZ, with what was it again? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Why are people so obsessed with a game becoming the DayZ killer?
Oh, that I don't know. I can't figure it out. I mean,
because
like,
DayZ's on top, dude. That's why.
What's that? Sorry?
Yeah,
DayZ's on top. Like how right? There's the amount of games that I've seen come out saying, "Oh, this is the next thing that better than DayZ." This and it's constant. It is constant, and then it's like it gets to a point where it's not. It's not like it comes out. There's hype around it. People play it like Scum when it first came out. It was massive hype, even with the DayZ community, massive hype.
Yep.
Right, and then after a couple of weeks, everyone went back to DayZ. You know, and I mean, it's a bold title. Don't get me wrong, bold title to say that it's going to die to Scum.
Clickbait.
Yeah,
It's clickbait.
definitely.
Clickbait put it in chat.
110%.
Wasn't even when Dead Matter wasn't even out yet, and people were saying, "Oh, this game's going to kill DayZ." Was it Dead Matter? I think it was the one that flopped. Whatever one that was.
Yeah.
I backed Dead Matter twice by accident, but I'm excited for Dead Matter, and I still am. I haven't played it, and I'm not gonna fucking play it. Because one early access game of being a diehard fanboy for DayZ is enough for me. Scum I'm interested in, and Scum I want to learn more about their mechanics in it, because I think a lot of that stuff, if done right, could come across to DayZ quite well. You can craft your own storage and all the rest of it, not just one item. DayZ has one craftable storage item, a crate. Scum has dozens of them, boxes and lockers and all sorts of stuff. It's fucking awesome. But I totally agree that it's a clickbait title. And you're right as well, Cairo. DayZ's the king. DayZ's on top. But all of these other games, for someone to kill DayZ, they need to be just like DayZ. All these other games, Dead Matter included, are variants of the survival genre. Dead Matter had AI in it, AI clans that you could interact with. I'm excited to see more about that. Will I enjoy it? Probably not. I prefer player interactions, but I was very interested in seeing where they went with it, because DayZ is only has roughly an average of 30 to 40,000 people playing it every day. There's a lot more people who enjoy this genre, and maybe they're not playing it because they don't like what DayZ is. That's their right. So maybe these other games should focus more on just creating something of their own style rather than this unhealthy fucking obsession. Competition is good, isn't it, Jacob?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, because otherwise,
Yeah.
nothing will change.
becomes more than competition, though. Like with these guys, it
An
seems like
unhealthy
it's a
obsession.
grudge. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a grudge. Or something. Like because the game you're playing isn't as good as DayZ or doing as well as DayZ, you have an issue. Like that's what it seems like to me. Like Rust, when Rust first came out, they based it off DayZ. They had zombies in Rust, you know. Like they used to when it first came out, and Rust did okay. Like it did all right. Now obviously they've made it into their own, and I feel like that's what other games need to do. They need to stop
Yes.
trying to copy DayZ. They need to make it into their own. And look at Rust now. Rust is insanely
It's
popular
huge.
because it's made it into its own game.
Yep.
And I feel like if people still try to compete with DayZ and copy DayZ to try and be the next best survival open world game or whatever it is, I feel like you're just going to lag behind. You need to create something unique yourself.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, much respect to your Pathfinder, but you could have had a better title to this one. And I would genuinely love to see a comparison of the various elements. You know, what is that would have been a better way to do it. What is crafting on DayZ like? It's pretty much non-existent. What is crafting in Scum like? This. So, you know, someone said in chat earlier that Scum's more of a PvP game. There are a lot of PvE servers for Scum out there, which is what I'm going to be looking to find because I really want to explore the base building on it is fucking next level. You upgrade 3 different tiers, and you need to collect resources, and it's not just one resource; it's a whole pile of different resources you need, which makes more sense. It's very, very beautiful game, but I've got to preface this again with I didn't enjoy my time, but that was because I didn't understand a lot of shit, and also it just didn't feel the same to me. The HUD they have in the game is overwhelming. It is so overwhelming looking at it going, what? Like I died at one stage there and I had no fucking idea why I was losing health. I'm looking at the HUD and I'm going, what am I meant to be looking at here? There was shit all over the place. It was just, bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
Never ruin the gameplay. That's what they're doing. They're ruining the gameplay by making it overloading the player.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
No.
Is that why DayZ is so popular? Because it's simple.
They simplified it, yeah.
You can have that option to take it off as well.
Yeah.
So after you learn it for so long, you play it enough, you just turn your HUD off. You can have a wide screen. You know when you're losing the health because you've played it for so long. You just do a quick check, bap, you know, like it's easy as that. But I feel like with Scum, for example, and these other games that are coming out, like I said, they need to bring something unique. Rust copied, and Rust did okay because it had hype, but they soon realized they're not competing with DayZ, so they had to make something new, something more to their style, and they did. And now look at the game, and that's the way it should be. But I mean, I'm not bashing on Scum. Listen, I'm not the type to be like, oh fuck that game because they're talking shit about DayZ, but let them do what they need to do. But if it fails, it fails. But I don't feel like people should be trying to put down DayZ so often.
No, it seems like the devs of Scum seem to be kind of nearly what would be the word? Like they seem to kind of be obsessed with the fact that they're trying to kill or overtake DayZ. Because they've mentioned it tons of times in the show where they're just like, oh yeah, we'll soon overtake DayZ and all this stuff. And it's like, I wonder how many people actually play Scum. Like, what's the count at?
See, that's just a point of being. I mean, they're developers, aren't they? They're meant to sell their game. That's what they've done, to be fair. And they probably convinced people who are fans of Scum to make the same exact title. It's probably Dead Matters probably said a few things about the same. I don't know for sure, so that's just like me guessing. But I'm sure other games have said, oh yeah, we're gonna overtake DayZ and do this and do that. But at the end of the day, you can't get the experience you can on DayZ in most games unless you make an identical game and name it something else. You know what I mean? And change the names of everything because of obviously copyright law and stuff. But unless you do that, and it needs to be incredibly better than current DayZ, you're not going to kill DayZ for a long time.
No,
DayZ has 3 times the amount of players for the 24-hour peak.
That's
mad. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
But then DayZ also has a console player base as well, which is large.
Millions.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
very large.
People are still playing Arma 2 DayZ mod. Not many, but
Not many.
It's,
no.
it's,
Like
no, I
500.
agree. Completely not many, but it's still there. It's still hanging on to that final, couple of servers. So, and we're at top number of players on standalone. So, yeah, but Kyra, what you said before, it was the same like the stream snipers. They're just trying to copy those people. They got to go on their own and do their own thing,
Yeah, no, it
and
is.
make themselves unique. And somebody else said it. As soon as they start making themselves unique, right? But everybody wants to take the throne. Everybody wants to bash on the king. Everybody wants to be DayZ, and
It's the way it is, dude.
it just has. There's just something to it that we keep sticking with it. As good as it is, as bad it is, we love to hate it, and we hate to love it, and we do, and we just hang in there,
I mean,
Yeah.
it was on a decline, wasn't it? I swear, like DayZ back in 2014, before modded got introduced, was on the decline. It was going down, and it was dying at one point. Then modded obviously got introduced to DayZ, boosted it up, but that's what it needs. It needs fresh stuff, and I felt like the modded community, in my opinion, is carrying DayZ because of everything. Like so many unique things they can do with the modded community is mad. And I mean, look how many people play modded on a daily basis. It's crazy.
It's lost, yeah.
It's crazy.
Well,
yeah.
Well, it's funny you say, look back in 2014. DayZ wasn't 1.0 until the end of 2018. So it's kind of, I mean, it's an interesting way to look at it, right? That was the game. In theory, the game wasn't even done at that point. Let's not argue over done, right?
Yeah, no,
but
I agree.
But it's just interesting how but that's part of it, right? People have loved it for so long and hated it for so long.
There's one thing that Mark hit on with his tweet here that we do need to discuss, though. I don't think it will pass DayZ or become bigger than DayZ unless it explodes on Twitch for whatever reason. Now, look at Escape from Tarkov. Escape from Tarkov was always a niche game. And then what did they go and do? They did those drops.
Yeah. Exploded.
And suddenly, and allegedly some botting as well of streams done by the developers is what I've heard, and some videos I've watched. That's what people think. But it exploded out of fucking nowhere. From this game that was a niche game to one of the biggest games on Twitch. Now, DayZ can't really do drops, can it? Scum could, though.
I think it
It's
can do
something
skin
they can't do with
drops.
Scum.
No, DayZ could. I mean, because they don't monitor. The thing is, there's all monetization and stuff. So DayZ get a little bit mad about the modded community, like monetizing certain skins.
But how are they going to do it? And this is where I'm glad we've got a couple of software people here, modders and developers and that. But how are they going to do it when it relies on the CLE files for those items to be there? What if people go and remove those items? Would it be only that those items exist on vanilla servers, on official servers?
It would be for streamers, wouldn't it? So, like for example, big streamers or YouTubers.
Yeah, but what are the streamers going to drop? What's going to be?
It'd be like skins. Like so, for example, when you can change, like for Rust, for example, you can have a SAR skin where it's a different color, different mix. You could do the same with that. With Barrett, you can make a golden Barrett, right? For example, or you can make a chrome Barrett or whatever. But you could also do it where you have your logo on a thing, and you can change the color of like the tip and maybe a bit of trim on the gun. And you could do that. It is possible. I've done it before when I used to run my old servers, and it is possible to do that type of stuff. It is even possible to put logos on type of stuff. So
Zombie Lee is saying something about certified mods. Does anyone know what that is?
No.
I guess he means maybe mods that are endorsed by the dev team, something like that. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, approved or something. Hard to
say.
No idea.
No idea.
I remember I put a tweet out about this exact topic before, and Clement Dab replied back, and he said I think it was possible or something, but it would be just the most complicated part would be figuring out like where the skins go. Would it be to a specific server? They'd have to create like some type of inventory in the game, to distribute. That'd be the hardest part. I think that was
plus each skin needs to link to a Steam ID or put in some sort of trader, but obviously you can't put traders in official.
Yeah,
that's another issue. And if you do it to Steam like they do with Rust, where it's on a Steam ID, and when you get the drop it goes to your Steam, and you can choose, I don't know, maybe they implement some sort of bench you can do in a base, or make and you can change the skin of a gun. Maybe
So
that
they're
might be an
basically
idea.
going to have to massively do some changes to the way
Yeah,
DayZ is.
huge,
That's not a bad idea with the benches, where if you've
like a workbench.
got
Yeah,
I know that they've got plans for turning those workshops into something you can interact with,
Do they?
or a spray can item.
Yeah.
That if you find you can use that to change the skin on something, so that might be a way. That sounds more viable. But
Yeah.
right now, DayZ can't do it, as far
Not
as
right
I
now.
can tell.
No. It'd be a lot of
Hey,
work to be able to get it done.
Oh, that's just a challenge, I think, right there to somebody. Some modder out there is ready to roll.
I mean,
Boy,
if they're doing it, that'd be sick. That'd be so cool.
Would be.
Boydie, thanks so much for having me. This was a great fun, but I actually got to jump now, so
No
I'll
worries,
let you.
mate.
I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much.
See you later,
No
man.
worries. Thank you
Right.
so
See
much,
ya.
Thanks for coming
Skigoggles,
on, Ski.
everyone. Round of applause.
Yeah.
Keep Reddit safe for everyone. Keep Reddit safe.
Thank you. Have a good one, everybody.
See you later,
all
bro.
the best,
Yeah.
buddy. But yeah, no, that was a really good point, and I'm glad I went to the Twitter link because that could be huge. That said, Scum has a lot of DayZ. DayZ hasn't been immune to it either. It went down to 3,000 concurrent players, which is fucking insane. But Scum has a lot of work to do in repairing its image amongst people. They've apparently got a big patch coming, 0.5, with some changes in it. That check out Pathfinder's channel, folks. He does great videos. Sorry, I meant to click on that. And he's a genuinely good bloke. Christian YouTuber, police officer, Marine Corps veteran, Liberty University alumni. Oh, he's a smart man as well. A very intense and penetrating gaze right there as well. But definitely check him out. He does some really good videos on the topic, even if he does seem to not like DayZ. Okay, we shall move on. We now have a new segment that I'm going to be doing from time to time as well. I want to shine the spotlight on a creator out there who is creating artwork for people. And for the first week, I've chosen Mr. Blunden. Mr. Blunden doesn't even have it in there. I've been chatting with him and said he needs to do it himself. But he did some artwork for our resident mad lad, AWOL Gaming. Gave him a new logo. Oh, no, that's not the one. Hang about. Let me go here. Twitter. And I actually like it. Have a look at that. Looks pretty bloody nice. Because AWOL's looking at getting into streaming and that himself soon. Been chatting with him about that. But yeah, if you're looking for someone who can do it, definitely get in contact with him. Just remember this though. Target acquired. Take the shot. What about my money? We'll pay you after the job is done. We agreed. Half now, half later. Okay, honestly, we're on a budget. What? How about exposure? We have 200,000 followers on social media. You're kidding me. Guys, if you're going to get someone to do something, please pay them properly. This exposure and all the rest of it,
Yeah,
It's-
you don't want to
it's
be
not
that guy, dude. You don't want to be that
No.
guy, especially if you're paying for work. Especially designers, man. They put a lot of time
and
into it.
even modders. A lot of work goes into creating models for you and retextures and stuff like that. I'm not saying you need to go to and mortgage your house to fucking do it, but yeah, don't expect something for free and think that your little channel with 100 followers and all the rest of it is going to be good exposure for them. No, exposure doesn't put food on the table, folks. So yeah, don't be a douchebag. But yeah, definitely check out our boy, Mr. Blunden. He does some amazing work. I'll put his link in the description as well, right there. If anyone wants to check him out and give him a follow. He's a good guy. I've been following him for fucking ages. Just a genuinely nice guy. Okay. DayZ Twitter. We welcome a new partner to Bohemia Interactive. This existing management and co-founders The existing management and co-founders keep control over the business, and this strategic minority investment will support our current and future endeavors. Wishing you all happy new year of the ox. Jacob, I'm going to let you talk on this one, mate. What did you think of this?
Basically, the previous announcement, the thing where was a year ago now or something like that, where was a rumor that Tencent bought them. Yeah, maybe that wasn't such of a lie as we thought back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't see anything bad coming from this because, so far they don't. Tencent as a company doesn't seem to really interact much with these companies because they're with PUBG, they're with Epic Games, they're also with Icarus actually, Dean Hall's new game, I think,
Mhm.
I believe. Yeah, so really, I'm not expecting anything bad.
This is an interesting statement as well. We are pleased to deepen our relationship with Tencent.
Yeah, they already had it, because they had to sell Wildlands and stuff into China and DayZ in China. So
I mean, if it helps DayZ, screw it, right?
Yeah.
If it helps DayZ, why not?
This wouldn't be for DayZ. This would be for probably their next titles.
Oh god, okay.
Yeah, DayZ.
The unannounced military simulator.
Yeah, or as the leaks refer to it, Armor something.
Armor 4. It's a minority stake, but still could change a fair few things. This seems like it's for Wildlands because they're trying it out in the Chinese market. I don't think this will affect DayZ. If anything, it means some more money for them, and more money means they can do more, hopefully. Get some more people, some more devs on board with the DayZ team, and yeah, we shall see. We shall see. But it was interesting, especially as you said, Jacob, because there was all that hullabaloo about Tencent last year, and it all got kind of shush. You don't know what you're talking about, and then all of a sudden they have a minority stake in the company. So,
Yep.
Time will tell. As long as I still get to play DayZ, it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah.
As long as the blood stays red.
Yes. Okay, guys, we are right near the end of it. Is there anything you guys would like to discuss before we go into our highlights of the week?
Not a clue, honestly. Let's talk about how sexy Marks is, you sexy little boy.
A lot of chats and comment, Mark. Oh my god, a Mark's face reveal. We didn't know this.
Yeah.
Thick with 2 C's, baby.
2 C's, 3 C's.
Mr. Yuta, you're referring to the leak that happened last year.
Tencent spent $260 million for an 80% stake.
Yeah, that's he's referring to the leak that happened last year.
Oh yeah.
Not leak, the rumor.
Yeah.
Which was false.
Okay, our highlights of the week. I shared a tweet. My highlight of the week goes to one of my good friends, June 11944. Now, he doesn't have Twitter, so I've got to switch to my account profile. DayZ 5-man shovel wipe. This was fucking outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
I thought you were talking about a name for a second then.
I'll skip it forward a bit. Here we go.
Whack, whack, whack.
The old shovel, man.
Yeah, maybe the shovel's a bit overpowered.
Just a bit.
Might need a bit of a nerf.
That's pretty good, though.
Now, more happens. I'm not going to show the rest of it. I'll put the link in chat. But I just love how excited he was about it, and his health is like red flashing. It was absolutely fucking amazing. But a lot more happens in this video. As you can see, it goes to 5 minutes. But yeah, I think you're bang on the money though, Jacob. The shovel is a bit overpowered. A bit overpowered. That said, I wouldn't want to get hit by a fucking shovel IRL. I imagine it would really fucking hurt. But yeah.
Realistically, it'd probably knock you out with 2 hits as well, to be fair. Maybe even 1.
Yeah. It would definitely knock your fucking head around, that's for sure. But that's my highlight of the week. June 11, 944, folks. That's his YouTube channel. He also what the? I swear to God, oh no, that's the podcast one. I must be subscribed to him on my other channel. But he also is a streamer. This is his Twitch channel. Please give him a follow. He's a really, really good streamer. I've got this gut feeling he's going to be partnered very, very soon, folks. His average has been that I've seen in the high 70s, 80s, up to 100 and that. So
well, he gets a lot of
pretty
views.
soon.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, I am pretty sure he is going to be partnered. So I'm very excited for him because he's just such a nice guy as well. Just one of the nicest guys in the DayZ community. So that's my highlight of the week. What about you there, Cairo? What's yours? You were an impromptu guest.
Oh God, I haven't had time to even look at anything. Literally nothing. I don't really have a highlight, personally. I don't know.
Okay, what about you, Jacob?
Been busy all week, and I've also not really touched DayZ for the past 2 months. So, got nothing.
Over to you then, Marks.
You're
Your
gonna
first highlight, mate.
You're going to hate me here as well because haven't even watched a single bit of content
Oh
all week. I've been too busy with videos to even look at anything. I don't have anything this week.
Actually, maybe we can go for Inclement Tab's thing if you tweeted it. I can't remember if he tweeted it or when he tweeted it. Let me check if he did tweet it first.
Portal gun?
Oh yeah, he did tweet it. Yeah, the gravity gun.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I put it in the weekly show agenda.
I've just jumped to his Twitter.
Yeah, I rewrote that yesterday though. First time like touching DayZ in a while. I rewrote all that code. Not to brag or anything, but it's a bit better now.
Oh, actually, there's something as well. Man Over Mars created the logo for Creators server.
Yeah.
And I like it. I think it looks really fucking nice.
It's really good. Really good. I complimented him on it. Yeah, it was really good.
I actually have something to shout out. Let me just saw this on Twitter.
Now, while you get that, where did you put the gravity gun? Is it
weekly show agenda? Just scroll down to the bottom, and yeah, you'll find it.
That looks fucking awesome. That's a good model there, actually.
Yeah, Zero made the model. I rewrote all of Dab's code, and yeah.
Yep.
Mad. Wait, what does that do?
Haven't you seen this before, Cairo?
Nah.
Half-Life.
Oh, it's a silly, stupid item for servers that really want something that is just a bit of silliness. But let me see if I can find it. You'll probably find it before I do. But he shared. Here we go.
That's mad. Okay. That's.
Yeet.
I mean, fair play. Let's hope that doesn't become a common thing.
But for the right server.
Oh, for the right server, definitely.
This is the sort of stuff that people need to be looking at, as well as, some more hardcore and serious things, but some shit that's fun. It's fucking DayZ, man. This isn't to go at you, Kyra. This is to go at everyone out there who thinks that things like this are bad. It's for anything can be made for any server. Just because someone's made something that you don't like doesn't mean that someone else isn't going to like it. And doesn't mean you have to get on your soapbox and say you're bad because you like fucking Gravity Gun. I love the idea of it. And I would jump on a server just to be able to yeet or yoink. I love the command, the fire command is yoink. But I would love to get on and just be able to do that, preferably to a player.
But it does it to objects, right? Or can you do it to a player as well?
Don't know yet. Probably going to be able to do players.
Imagine, right? Imagine there's like a whole squad inside a car. As they're driving past, you just put your gravity car, gravity gun, grab the car.
You can do cars. You can do cars. I know that.
Throw it while they're inside, dude. Oh my god, that'd be jokes.
Yeah, but you won't have it. It'll be hard to launch a car though, because they're heavy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So there's going to be a weight issue with it as well. I mean, fair play. I mean, yeah, no, there's a cool stuff. I mean, there's lightsabers and all sorts. I don't see why not. I mean,
I love that lightsaber clip of that guy. The fresher you comes out of the house, and there's that ghillie guy with the lightsaber in his hands, and he's like, "Oh, you scared me!" And then you see the lightsaber come on. Oh, cool, you got a lightsaber. And then he just starts running at him like to smack him, and then it ends right as the bloke starts backpedaling away. Just a brilliantly done fucking clip. Really, really good. And again, a lot of people are fucking lightsabers in DayZ. Oh, what's going to be fucking next? Guys, get over yourselves. It's meant to be fun. If someone's enjoying themselves playing the game the way they want to play and it's not hurting you, why make a deal out of it? Why make a big fucking deal out of it?
People love
enjoy
to complain.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, which is really fucking sad. Okay, what do you got for us, buddy?
Sada, I also put it in the week's show agenda. Sada was on the mask and got a helicopter and tried to see if he could put it in the orb at Athena 1. See, like, could it teleport? Yep. And, well, it does what it says. It actually teleports.
I'll be fucked.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
I knew it could do cars, but that's pretty cool that it did a chopper.
No, that's pretty cool.
I think the first person I saw try it with a car was Call Me Rive.
It's pretty cool that I can just teleport anything if you can get it to it. Like, it's yeah, cool.
That's pretty cool. And it didn't destroy it is kind of what I'm the most impressed about. Was it just an insta explosion?
Explosion, yeah.
Love it. Absolutely.
Wait, if you throw something into it, does it teleport?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Imagine, right? Someone's at the teleport spot. You chuck a live grenade through. You actually get the kill. You teleport through. You see just a group of guys dead. Imagine that. You just see. Oh, that'd be so funny.
More times than not, you're going to be teleported onto the ice fields at the top of the map, though.
Yeah.
It's just completely random, I believe. Unless it's been changed.
I don't really play them.
I think it is random. I think it is random. Yeah. I think Dab said that the last time he was on, that it's around.
It was completely random last time I checked.
Gravity gun for an admin tool. Help get cars that got glitching defenses and shit. That's a cool idea.
The gravity gun is good for admins. Really good for admins.
Yeah, there's a legitimate use for it. You may log into a server and see they've got a gravity gun and it's for it, because I can't work out the fucking whole XYZ fucking axis things. It just does my head in. But being able to just zap it with a gun and lift it up and there we go. Done.
Yeah, no, that'd be very handy, that.
Yeah, the cars are a bit too heavy, so it might not work that well.
Could you not alter that, though?
Yeah, I guess I could alter it. I have the code. I can do that.
Just make like an admin gravity gun. Just grab anything.
Yeah. Brings anything, any size, any weight.
Yeah, like an admin hammer, for example.
Yeah.
Call it the defies the laws of physics gravity gun.
Somebody said in my chat, why do you need the gravity gun when cars already fly?
True.
Well played, sir. I salute you. Well played. Well played. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Marks, how was your first episode of the podcast, buddy?
It's great. Great fun. Went pretty well, I think, anyway.
I think it went very well, mate. We are very pleased to have you on board, mate. And we look forward to it. You'll get more and more settled as the weeks go by, my man. And it will be exciting to see where we go. I saw you had a pretty decent audience there on YouTube, mate. Was it anyone's first podcast watching it out of your audience?
Yeah, I think quite a few. There was quite a few people that came in. They were like, "What?"
Well, I
DayZ
hope
has a
they
podcast?"
enjoyed it.
So yeah.
You just made me feel like I've wasted the last fucking 47 episodes. Yes, DayZ has a fucking podcast.
Yeah, but no,
Okay,
good.
next week we have two guests coming on. We have Ike D and Deke Inc. Coming on to. Deke is going to be talking about map making, and Ike is coming on to talk about, well, amongst other things, his Tolga Hill charity climb and his idea for the Alphabet Challenge, which I'm really, really excited. And hey, if you've got any other ideas, Ike is always looking for things like that he can do as well. So if you've got any ideas, hit him up in the DMs on Twitter. He's a nice guy, and he's open to suggestions and all the rest of it. Cairo, thank you so much for coming on, mate. As
That's
Zombie
all good,
said,
dude.
good to have you on here to clear up some shit.
Yep.
Jacob, thank you again as well.
Yeah, just an hour late, but yeah.
Yeah, I was about probably about 15 minutes late this morning because I slept in as well. But yeah, and Skigoggles, thank you for coming on as well, buddy. It was really good. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, please go back and watch those original Survivor Games events. Not the horrible. When you type in Survivor Games in YouTube, you need to make sure you're not just getting videos about the modded game, that you're actually getting the videos of the original Survivor Games channel. And also there are some on Brian Hicks's YouTube channel as well. Watch those events. And you will be blown away by how good what the original Survivor Games was. It was fucking life-changing for DayZ and for Twitch as well. Go back and watch the podcast with Soma, the guy who came up with the initial idea, and you'll learn more about the Survivor Games as well, folks. It's an amazing model, and I'm really hoping that amongst the community, we can reinvent it ourselves and come up with our own spin on it. And even if we don't get any sponsors for it, it could still be a great event if enough creators get behind it and we promote it. And maybe do a pro-am with one creator getting teamed up with one random and stuff like that. That could be a way to go. But yeah, awesome. Okay, everybody, we will see you next week. Same time as always on myself and Dark channel. I'm not sure if Brim's going to be able to make it or Wee Devil, but maybe Wee Devil will be back next week. I'm hoping so. I know he's been having some troubles, and until he's got it 100% sorted, he doesn't want to come on the podcast because he's just worried about he'll bring the standard, the high quality of the podcast down. Yeah, you're laughing, Marks.
Very high quality.
Super high.
Very high quality.
I'm on here, so I don't.
But no, all the best, everyone, and I will see you next week.
See you later, gamers.
Yeah.
See you later.